Hello, everyone, and wow, I'm I'm a bit emotional tonight because this is for the final time on F1 2020. We are live for ALR, and it's for Cobalt as well. Then to finish off what has been an absolutely fantastic season, hasn't it? Of all four divisions. I can't believe I'm saying that. All four divisions that ALR's put on. Well, since the mid-season break, wasn't it, where he went after Silverstone, home of the motorsport, we went from went from two divisions of gold and silver right up through bronze and cobalt, and of course for the final time on F1 2020, we are finishing the season off, and hopefully we'll finish it off in style as well. So yes, it's a bit emotional for us tonight. Then here in LR, I can't believe it. Another game. Another time where we're going on to 2021 then for next season, of course. And in 6 weeks' time then, I think it's, I can't remember the date we're starting now. Goodness me, that's appalling, isn't it? But yeah, of course, that is next time we'll be broadcasting, ALR will be broadcasted, will be on the F1 2021 game. Incredible, isn't it? Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, gosh, that... Right, let's go for the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Then before we get into the action and stuff like that, and here it is. Then you man, bro, of course, he's the world champion of ALR Cobalt, the first ever world champion as well. You man, bro, fantastic season. Second position is Irvine. Then of course he's moved from from third to second then, and he is officially, is he? Hang on a minute, 17 plus 8. If someone can help me out there, that'd be great stuff. Irvine is what? If Brooksy wins and fastest up, and Irvine doesn't get a point, and Irvine doesn't get a single point, and then that means that Brooksy will go up, potentially as well. But of course, so it's still the battle for promotion is still on then to get into bronze for next season. And Irvine and Joseph are currently in the box seats. So, goodness me, then let me quickly currently in the box seats and to go through into silver for into bronze for next season. Then we've got Brooksy in fourth position. He's on a great flurry, isn't he, towards the end of this season. Hammer time in fifth position, and he had a good road win, didn't he, in the I think it was the United States Grand Prix, was it? Potentially. No, Mexican Grand Prix it was, wasn't it? Starburst in sixth position, Iron Knight seventh, ZGS ninth, Ducanco in ninth position, 10th position is Roger as well. Picasso has jumped up for two positions, he's now in a 12th position. Winnie and Kaz dropping down one position apiece as well. Smith Almighty getting his first points of his career last time. He's now up into 18th position now. Liam Dean down in 19th position, and Kaz on 20th position. In the constructor standings, that is still very much alive, and that is one more championship to go then, of course, here today in ALR then. So of course, Williams were the constructors champions for ALR bronze last night, was it? No thanks to that ginger guy, but very good stuff indeed there for Dylan, who has had an absolutely sensational season, hasn't he, Dylan? Has, and once again shown his prowess behind the Williams car. And Williams are now two-time constructors champions in a bronze then. So, gotta say, very much like the Renault team in gold, they're very much building a dynasty in bronze, aren't they? Good stuff indeed. And Jenner is the first driver out on the course at the moment. In the zone the constructors and Racing Point, and there's final time then for Racing Point, final time for the Renault team as well in an ALR Formula 1 Grand Prix as Righty is out of qualifying. So make the most of the beautiful yellow cars, make the most of the beautiful pink cars as well, as that will be the last time we'll be seeing them on the Formula 1 circuit in the foreseeable future, anyway, for the next two seasons at the very least. We do not know what's going to happen in 2022, but let's take let's just take it two seasons at a time, shall we? Renault is, Alfa Romeo second in the World Championship then. They're about 6 points, Alfa Racing Point about 6 points away from being the Constructors Champions. Alfa Romeo is second and Williams are third in the Constructors. Fourth is AlphaTauri with Red Bull in fifth. Red Bull are about 6 points behind their sister team AlphaTauri. Renault in sixth position and McLaren are seventh. Mercedes has got in front of the Ferrari team in eighth position and ninth respectively. And 10th position is the Haas team. They're on -3 at the moment, and so they need at least 3 points to get themselves out of the minus range. And I think that Haas might be the first team ever in LR history to finish the season on minus points. Let's see how that one goes out. It's like they say, have got a race to sort that out, haven't they? So good stuff indeed there for the Haas team. Fingers crossed for them. Goes to the comments as well. Goku Kakarot then, or Kakarot Goku, I should say. Good evening, Kakarot. We got Brooksy saying, let's go. Becca saying, at the Renault last time, I'm going to say that. Sad times. Yes, indeed, then. As of course, it does depend on what. It's a random draw, isn't it, for next season about who's going to go into which car, of course. And keep an eye on social media there, of course. Our social media manager will be all over it, won't she? As she knows exactly, she knows more about the dates than I do, really, to be honest. So there we go. Yeah, she will keep all you fans involved and very much up to date as well. Yes, indeed. Then yes, of course, the live driver draw for all 4 divisions will be taking place. I assume it's usually a week before the race. So the championship starts itself, doesn't it? So of course, keep an eye on that one. Kaz is saying, how is everyone good today? I'm very well, Kaz. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. Jenna at the final turn. Jenna goes fast instead of a 35.8 for. Oh goodness. Me chopped off my brow. Jenna's gone for a 35.8.3.9.2. Starters off then. We've got a Haas car coming around the final turn as well. Thinking that might have been Gasly's. Unfortunately, validated times those guys have another bite of cherry. Starburst out of the final turn. Starburst goes fast on a 34.6 then in that running car. Starburst was very much a leading contender, was it, at the beginning of the season. He's tailed off slightly lately, hasn't he? Hammer Time, another driver, had a bit of ups and downs in his first season in Cobalt. But I'm going to throw my bet right into the hat straight away. I think that Hammer Time is going to be a championship contender at the very least, or he's going to be a promotion contender for next season. That is, I hope I don't put the kibosh on Hammer Time, because he's going to be very unhappy. Me here comes many things there in the Red Bull down the back straight in replace for Cosmo, unfortunately, who's not racing. He hasn't raced for the last 3 Grand Prix. Cosmo hasn't. It's a shame now for Cosmo, but. Hopefully he'll come back to next season a bit more raring to go then. Liam D in 12th position in the Renault car at the moment. We've got Ferrari of Winnie, who's just gone into third fastest. Lovely stuff indeed there for Winnie. Good stuff. And of course in the famous Scuderia Ferrari, as he is, oh gosh, I keep getting toothache at the moment. They're really painful. I would go to a dentist, but I'm absolutely terrified of dentists. So there you go. I'm just going to have to just continue to moan about it. Brooksy, lovely pink helmet here from Brooksy. He goes fastest out on a 34.621 there for Brooksy. There, 2:10 second in front of Starbus. A great way to start out to open up his account then. Many things on the medium tires and in qualifying one. So that's an interesting development now for many things. We'll see how that one plays out. And Picasso going third fast. And he's, I've got to say, Picasso has really come into his own in the last couple of races or so, as he's now put to 12th for the World Championship. And I think he can break into the top 10, judging on his form at the moment. So we're keeping on that. Joseph out of final turn as well. Joseph hanging on to that final as Hammer Time has gone faster than Brooksy by 0.2 of a second. Then Joseph hanging on to that final promotion spot by the skin of his nose cone at the moment. Let's see if that continues to be the case. Smith Almighty, and only is I think this is third Grand Prix in Cobalt as well for Smith Almighty, but he's down in 18th position in the World Championship. But I think we'll judge Smith Almighty in next season's Cobalt season, I think, because it's very unfair to judge him after only 3 Grand Prix. Very harsh indeed, isn't it? Goodness me, I'm sweating already. Oh my goodness me. But I have sat still actually for the first 10 minutes in this session, which is very like me. I'm usually waving my hands forwards and backwards because I can't seem to sit still when I'm commentating. Liam D goes into 9th fastest, and he's the slowest time runners thus far. Scooby Shoo starting his lap as well, as he's just coming down the brow of the hill. Irvine, am I going to catch him? No, I'm not going to catch him, but he's full fast at the moment, Irvine is, and he's just behind Starburst in front of Picasso by 0.3 of a second. Then remember, this first qualifying session is just about getting yourselves through into qualifying 2, so we're just aiming to lose the five slowest cars then in qualifying 1 then. As Jenna comes into the pits, I think that's Brooksy also coming into the pits as well. Indeed it is. Joseph there into turn 19, and that's a pesky turn at 19, isn't it, as well, as we've seen FIFA have issues there, and German also had issues there a season ago in silver as well. Out of the final turn then, and down the old brow then, and Joseph there second fast at the moment. Pressure on Joseph tonight, isn't it, because between him and Brooksy to get through into a bronze for next season, I got to say both those drivers deserve to go through into Cobalt, into where they go next season, into bronze. But of course there is 2 slots technically, but Irvine must have to have an absolutely horrific Grand Prix today if that is going to be the case. watching Iron Knight as well, and of course this is a good time to give a shout out actually then to a couple of drivers then who have raced in all 11 Grand Prix so far. Iron Knight is one of them, so congratulations to Iron Knight, congratulations to ZGS, UMAD Bro and Joseph as well. All of them have been in every single Grand Prix that has ever hosted a Cobalt event then, so fantastic stuff for all those drivers then. Oh, is our Iron Knight then is getting a bit of an old swapperoo then in the Williams car, and he's going to be a bit disappointed with that one, is he there? How much time has he lost then on the board then? Just in our world champion in the background as well. That is you, mad bro. Who wasn't really do I dare say he wasn't at the races last week? He's been I think since winning the world championship, you mad bro. I think he's been he's toned it down a bit, hasn't he? Really, you mad bro. Love the helmet by the way. That's a fantastic new helmet indeed. Lovely stuff indeed. Then, of course, talking of helmet, shout. Keep your. I'd like to hear what your favourite helmet has been of the season. I must say, as much as I'm. Whoa, look at that one. Now, that's a beautiful one, to say the least. I love Kaz's helmet. That's absolutely fantastic. I was going to say the Welsh Maranada's helmet from Monday night was really cool. I love the scuff marks on it. But I think the Kaz's helmet's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That's fantastic helmet design now. I got to say, I tip my hat off to you, good sir. Then I think that might get my helmet of the season. It's ironic how Codemasters decided to bring out a load of new helmets right before the end of the season. And they bring out the best, don't they? Anyway, let me quickly get back to the comments, shall we? Because I need to get myself sorted out. Vintage saying, evening, Sean, congratulations on another successful season, mate. Thank you very much, Vintage. Of course, it's ALR who've had a very successful season again, haven't they? Of course, this is our 5th season now. It is, isn't it? We're going to be in our 6th season next season. Good gosh, and that's scary, isn't it, to say the least? I don't think Vintage is talking about my season in bronze then, because I finished 13th in the end, which isn't too bad, really. I think that, I'm going to be honest, I really reversed into that 13th position, because if I didn't get second in that Mexican Grand Prix, then I probably wouldn't have been that high. So I must say that Williams was very much a one-man team in the forms of Dylan this season, wasn't he? And my goodness me, thank goodness for that then. So I am a Constructors World Champion, and I'm going to be taking that. So lovely. But I'm thinking in the terms of bronze, and I'm fairly happy with the midfield actually, because consider the fact there's a lot of talented drivers in bronze. I think the original, when I originally started bronze, what was my aim then? Perhaps, well, I'm going to be honest, I think my aim was to finish really, but I think that as the season gone on, I was quite disappointed when I went a couple of races through the mid-season where it was just pretty, it was pretty dire from my point of view. But yes, I think that overall I'm fairly happy with bronze really. But I think that Vintage, I feel that Vintage was involved in a bit of some scrapes, wasn't he, last night with Sir Dave, wasn't he? Which, I've got to say, I think the tempers got a bit flared there, didn't they, in the final race of the season? But I'm looking forward to see what Vintage can do next season in bronze, and of course, because I feel that the short seasons do not help certain drivers, do they? Other drivers really propel themselves on like short seasons, don't they? I'm thinking about for example, New Potato, the first ever bronze world champion there. He was fantastic in like the 9 races, wasn't he? He was really much just banging in those results in bronze very nicely indeed. And then Gurman, I felt he was still very good in bronze, wasn't he? But he really elevated himself in silver, especially halfway through round 10 of silver last season. That would have been the end of the season for bronze the season before, but it was round 10 last season where Gurman really came into his own then, and Gurman does like more of the marathon, doesn't he, kind of seasons. So I think that's what Vintage is going to be like next season. That is my hot tip as well. Vintage is also saying good luck as well there. Serious Mushroom, usual driver in the comments as well. Good stuff indeed to see Serious Mushroom in there. Good luck all drivers, and good luck to the women's drivers as well. Hello Cobalters from Arta as well then. Great stuff indeed. Kaz is saying I took a sit day from work and not to listen to the race then. Good 70 then, Jazz then, but I'm about 300 kilometers from the North Pole working at the moment then. Oh my goodness me. Blimey, and that is commitment, isn't it? Good luck, Jarvis, and good luck indeed, Kaz, as well. For goodness gracious me, I've got to say, it's going to be very cold out there, isn't it? Jinner is brave going over that curb in Sector 1. He is indeed, isn't he? Full commitment there for Jinner. By the way, I'm about half an hour beyond everyone else, aren't I? We've got... We got Brooksy's engineer. Wasn't in the comments last week, was he? So, but he was very much side by side with Brooksy. I think I think that Brooksy and Percy, in terms of as far as I know anyway, is as Dukan Co goes 7 fastest. In terms of what I know anyway, that's our first proper engineer driver partnership, as far as I'm aware. So very good stuff indeed there. And of course, Percy will be trying to engineer his driver, Brooksy, to maybe get a third position in a Cobalt, which will mean he will be up into bronze for next season, of course. And so that is his aim for Brooksy tonight. Then it's quite a big aim indeed. Is there? Gunnar saying good luck, Cobalt. Spudhead saying best of luck, Cobalt, and thank you for all this season ALR guides. Gave me a chance to have 3 races this season. Looking forward to next season. Very much enjoyed having you along for the ride as well, Spudhead. Of course, I think you drove in 2 races in bronze there, so unfortunately I haven't been able to commentate on you, but I'm looking forward to commentating on you next season, my good sir. Then so yes, very much indeed. And thank you very much for driving in ALR as well, Spud. Very much appreciate that. Kaz goes 14 fastest at this moment in time. Many things is back out. This time he's on the soft compound tyres. Originally he was on the medium compound tyres. Here comes ZGS then coming in to turn number 7 as well. What do you think of Paul? I'm guessing a 33.5 fed. Vintage is saying a 33.8 then. Maybe. 100% on everything you said, mate. 207 from Vintage. I think Vintage is pulling Sirius Mushrooms stalk there, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. We got ZGS and really a bit gingerly going through that mid part of the chicane now from ZGS. ZGS started off his Cobalt career quite nicely indeed, didn't he? As he had a very good second position in the Italian Grand Prix. He has tailed off in USA, Mexico, and Brazil. He hasn't scored since the Japanese Grand Prix, CGS hasn't, but I think that has he had a successful season overall? I think he has, but I'm thinking he'll be aiming for bigger and brighter things for next season for the Alfa Romeo driver. Of course, we do not know what car he'll be in next season. Of course, we do not know what any of the AT full-time drivers, we don't know what car they'll be in next season. Of course, that would be all a part of the driver draw, that is. We just seen who was that just went up? There's many things that just went up into 7 fast. Like good something there for the second Red Bull driver. ZGS into the final turn then for the Alfa Romeo. Accelerates away, dropping down a little diver. And he goes 13 fast. Just in front of Winnie at the moment. Here comes the 2 Haas drivers as well. But Gaz has damaged his front wing there. So he's going to have to come back into the pits pronto, unfortunately then. Unfortunately then we've also got just saying, look, then there's a search machine. Get your calculator and laptop out, Percy. Then Troy Evening for the last time this season. Yeah, it's quite emotional, isn't it, today? It must be so emotional because I can keep missing laps there, as I've just seen someone else jump up a couple of positions as well. I think it was an AlphaTauri, wasn't it? As we're on board with Gaz then, who is just trying to come and get himself back in the pits. Here comes Liam D down the back straight. We've also got Kaz as invalidated this time, so he's going to have another bite of the cherry at as well. And it's Jinner who's got up into second fastest there. Jinner is a very good qualifier, isn't he? If he can he have a incident-free race then, or doesn't it? Because trouble seems to find Jinner, doesn't it? So hopefully he can have a nice clean spectacle and go from there. Gaz has just putting a time in the well, I think he needs to he's just put a time in, but I don't think that's enough to get him out of qualifying. He's damaged his car as well. We've only got 1 minute to go in this qualifying session. Goodness gracious me then. Percy has got his calculator and laptop out. Good stuff indeed there. So absolutely great stuff. Is good luck there, Percy from Serious Mushroom. Troy saying, I see you are here as always, mate. I'm a ALR fanboy. Laugh out loud. Good stuff indeed there. Yes, of course. I would like, of course, anyone that's in the comments, I would like to hear your favourite moments of ALR this season. I must say, it's a very difficult one to talk about, really, mainly because the season's been a blur to me. So I'm getting too old now. I've got to say, I can't remember what I had for dinner. Goodness me, let alone way back in. When did we start our adventure? It was back at the beginning of the year, wasn't it? It was back around January time, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. But I think has this season been? I think that this season has been one of the most. It's been one of the best seasons just in terms of the driver involvement, for sure. I think from the backstage or from behind the scenes kind of thing, I think the drivers have been. I think that's been one of the best parts of the season. Absolutely loving it, and absolutely loving it indeed. That Brooks is saying me defending from You Mad Bro for 8 laps. USA is my favourite, and yes, he did that, and he did it on. He was on the 2-step harder tyres, wasn't he, Brooksy? Which on the hard tyres, and I wasn't You Mad Bro on the soft tyres. I can't remember now, goodness me, but yeah, that was incredible, because I remember in the commentary, I think that we were saying that it was going to be difficult for Brooksy to hold off you, man, bro, but goodness me, he proved us all wrong in that night, didn't he? Absolutely fantastic, a fantastic bit of defending, really good stuff indeed there. At the moment, out qualifying is Styles, Righty, they're going to be on road 10 for the final race of ALR on F1 2020. Gaz is 18th at the moment, and then I think he's going to stay 18th as well, as Liam D moves himself into qualifying 2 at the moment. Good time there from Liam D, fantastic. But Winnie is out on circuit as well. Scooby Stew is in the pits. Kaz is we've lost. Gaz has lost his front nose there. Winnie there is a 10th a second up in the first sector time as well. And he's gone a bit deep there down into the middle chicane there before accelerating away. Brooks saying he was on the medium tires. But he was still on a softer tire, wasn't he? A step softer tire, wasn't he? And yes, we was expecting you mad bro to get past Brooksy then, but Brooksy made his car as wide as my waistline. It was fantastic defending, it really was indeed, wasn't it, from Brooksy? And yes, that is definitely very much a highlight of mine then. Really good stuff indeed. The other highlight of mine, I keep saying this, but of course, you mad bro's incredible rain performance in the Hungarian Grand Prix in that torrential downpour. Also, another highlight of mine is actually Theo's overtake in the Belgian Grand Prix, and I think that, of course, that was in the Winnie there was getting a bit squirrely. We'll talk about Theo's overtake in the Belgian Grand Prix in a minute. Oh goodness me, he's invalidated this time, but I think Winnie should be through anyway. Oh gosh, Aaron, he almost did that last night. Winnie there almost going into the barrier there, but luckily he is safely through into qualifying 2. Unfortunately, out qualifying is Scooby Stew, is Kaz and Gaz also as well, Righty and Styles. That makes the bottom 5 and for the final qualifying session of the season in ALR. So unfortunately, those drivers have got to take the walk of shame, haven't they? And Serious Mushroom's favourite moment is watching Guna, the man, the myth, the legend there. Literally the whole gold race in Brazil from Troy. Yes. Since the lights went out in gold, we had an absolute barnstorm of a race, didn't we? I got to say, that's probably one of the best races of all time in ALR, wasn't it? We had Pease against Emerson, and then when Pease unfortunately dropped it, coming out of Yun Kao, it was then German just stalking Emerson for the majority of the race there. It was action galore, wasn't it? Fantastic stuff indeed then. But let's just confirm the classification then before we go into qualifying 2. Styles out of qualifying, right out qualifying as well. Gaz didn't get a competitive timing because I think he damaged his front nose cone in the Haas car. Kaz in 17th position then, and Scooby Stew in 16th position then. Those are the bottom 5 drivers going into qualifying 2 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Seriously, saying I think mine was going from 17th to 2nd. Someone has to. So it was when was that race? Serious Mushroom. Was that the Russian Grand Prix or the No, it wasn't the Japanese Grand Prix. Was that? Of course, that was Serious Mushroom's first ever Grand Prix win, wasn't it? The Japanese Grand Prix, magical race that was indeed. Then maybe that's my favourite ALR race of all time. Oh goodness me. You know, I got to say, I'm one of those people that doesn't seem to have a favourite. I just seem to say, oh, that's my favourite. I just cannot decide, can I? It was Mexico. Oh, it was Mexico. So I was kind of close. No, I wasn't really, was I? Not close at all then. I knew it was the back end of the season. Goodness gracious me then. But of course, ALR has been covering 4 races then since the British Grand Prix this season. This is the most leagues that ALR has ever had since its inception back in, I think it was March 2019, wasn't it? As Jenner comes out of the pits as well. And of course, this is our 5th season in ALR now, coming to a close, isn't it? This is the first ever season of Cobalt. We've had 3 seasons of bronze now, 3 seasons of silver, 5 seasons of gold, and yes, and we're now going on to a bigger and better things. And Ayrton is saying mine was actually winning the race. Never thought I would get near the top 3 in silver, let alone at first. Although Gordo deserved it. Yeah, I think that. I got to say, Ayrton was very modest there because, of course, you have to cross to finish first. First, you must finish, haven't you? Ayrton did that without having any issues whatsoever. Was he just drove a calm and collected race there when the rain came? It was absolutely judged to perfection there. Gordo should have won 2 races though, shouldn't he? Because I think that also Becca winning the Canadian Grand Prix back in Canada on International Women's Day as well, which is absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? I got to say that was really cool. That was that's probably That's probably up there in my top 5, I think, for this season, definitely. But yeah, I think that Gordo could have and should have won that Grand Prix as well, shouldn't he, really? So Gordo has won 2 races this season, and he is my pick for next season for maybe getting it for definitely a challenger for the championship, or definitely maybe even a challenger to get promoted into Golden for Gordo. He has been one of the most improved drivers out of all 4 divisions, in my humble opinion. So it's Russell saying, doesn't matter, Ayrton wins a win then. Troy also also saying that, also just expanding on that as well. Yeah, of course, my second position in the Mexico Grand Prix. To be honest, as I said, I reversed into that, but it don't matter really. I'm always going to take that. Yeah, so I was so happy that I even got an interview in ALR as well. So that was great stuff indeed then. But unfortunately, you couldn't hear me you could hear me in the interview, but I was too excited to talk. Which is unusual, isn't it? I think it's because Emerson wasn't commentating that day, wasn't it? So perhaps the problem I had this season is that Emerson's commentated over me. So I should have got a petition in to get Emerson out of the box. And of course I'm joking. Then as Hammer Time is coming down the back straight there. Of course, also this is a good opportunity to thank Emerson and Ayrton for stepping into the commentary box for the first time. As Liam D has left the session, hopefully he'll come back in just a jiffy. Also, a big thank you to the Hiltons of Emerson and Ayrton then, and we've had 2 Grand Prix winners in the commentary box for bronze. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed, wasn't it? And it was really good insight as well. They did a very good job in bronze. Absolutely magical stuff indeed. Really enjoy watching the bronze races back there. And I got to say, the yeehaw from Emerson is going to live long in the memory by the look of things. I got to say, what I find more funnier is Ayrton's reaction to it, to be fair. So I think as we got a Williams car having a couple of issues there, it's Ducanco. Oh goodness me, it is a perilous place down in turn 3 and 4, and unfortunately the Williams car has damaged the wing section there, and unfortunately Ducanco is going to have to come in the pits there. He's lost the whole of the wing section, and yeah, Ducanco there, that's not a good start, is it? Hammer Time has gone fast on a 34.5 so far to start us off, and look at how much wing damage he's got then. Of course, that's a very familiar sight from last race there, whereas another Williams driver there with a wing section missing and going down that part of the course as well. That was a certain Ginger Rage. Ginger is gone at third fast, and he's on the medium tires though in this qualifying 2 session. We haven't even spoke about the rules for qualifying 2 yet. Of course, anyone that's been joining us for all the races this season, you will know about the You'll know about the qualifying rules and stuff like that, but let's go through them, shall we? Because there might be new viewers tonight then. Just tune in for the first time ever in Formula 1. And if you're getting through in the qualifying 3, you must start on the exact tyres which you set your fastest qualifying 2 time on in the start of the Grand Prix. And so if Irvine gets through on these tyres, and he must start on those tyres unless they become damaged or is structurally unsafe, of course. And the only time they'll be structurally unsafe is if you really get a puncture in this qualifying session, but I wouldn't recommend trying that. Irvine coming into the final part of lap. So goodness me, you're very chatty in the old comments. I love it. Really good 17. Serious Russian saying yes, anyone else would take that win anyway. Aaron saying the first ALR driver to go win the race and get relegated then. As Serious Russian saying that is class. It very is, to be honest, Ayrton, you're the first driver then, and that is going to be in the record books then forever and a day. Irvine on the final turn, and he goes third fast there. Irvine does, of course, he could cement his place in I keep saying silver, in bronze for next season. Irvine Cannon, I think that Irvine deserves to be in bronze next season, and I've got to say, from a selfish point of view, I want to see Irvine in bronze next season, because I really want to see him mix up with the bronze drivers, and so looking forward to that. Really am indeed. So we're just on board with Smith much. I think Picasso's just started us up. He has indeed in car 21 in the Mercedes as well. Picasso's really impressed me in the last couple of races, and he's was unlucky in Japan, wasn't he? Where unfortunately I think he came across a wild car. I think it was a Ferrari, wasn't it? And unfortunately retired from the session. Unfortunately, Becca's saying I'm still Buffalo. Chazza did a 32.8 around here on the medium tires. I must say Chazza did a great time in qualifying 2 on the medium tires, but in qualifying 3 he just couldn't get near it, could he? Chazza couldn't, which was very, I think he said in the interviews afterwards, didn't he, that he didn't have a very good qualifying free session, but incredibly how he got a 32.8 there. Is that a early warning there to the double world champion Emerson then for next season? Perhaps then. Of course, remember the year 2015 and the beginning of 2016 where Rosberg there had an incredible end to 2015 where he won 3 Grand Prix in a row, I think it was. Then he won the first 4 Grand Prix of 2016, which really elevated him to the World Championship of 2016, of course. Then, so yes, then all Grand Prix are important. It doesn't matter if you've won the championship. Well, it does matter if you won the championship or not, because that's what everyone's goal is, isn't it? As Shane Ward's used to saying. But of course, you do want momentum going into next season. Yes, it's a new game. Yes, there's new cars. Of course, we do not apparently these cars have got 10% less downforce on this season's cars. So there's not as much floor to play with either. So that's going to get very interesting indeed. Then, of course, the engine modes are also different. So keep an eye on that. Then I have no idea. All it is Picasso goes fastest there, and really underlines then of us informing you guys about his form as of late. Then Smith Almighty cross the line. He goes 5th fastest on the soft tyres. He's a couple of tenths away from Irfan, who's on the medium tyres. Starburst has invalidated his time right from the get-go there. Brooksy is down into the mini stadium sector as well. Winnie is out of turn at 19 now. Of course, Mark Webber had quite a close brush with the wall there in 2010 then. Of course, unfortunately, German had a more than a close brush with the wall. He hit the wall. Right, he's fastest on a 36.4 in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Joseph down the back straight as well. Of course, Joseph is the second of the 3 drivers, and there's a fighting for the promotion spots here tonight. Then, so it's Joseph, it is Irvine, it is Brooksy. Then, who is going to be promoted? Who's going to be applying their craft in bronze for next season? And of course, that's what I love about the promotion place and the relegation place in ALR. It, of course, races like this, and it keeps the races alive, doesn't it? There, because the championships may have been won, the constructors' championships may have been won as well, but however. That there's still always a chance, isn't there, to get a few more points in, or to get promoted into bronze next season. I'm sure that Joseph and Irvine and Brooksy will be loving getting into bronze for next season. Of course, I know Joseph had the final turn. Joseph goes full fast. It's good stuff indeed. It's Brooksy there. Has just come across the line there. He is now fastest so far on a 33.8. Good stuff indeed there for Brooksy. Lovely stuff indeed then. It's the McLaren there. It's just coming out of the final turn now to start us out there. What about Ducanco then? So he's having a second bite of the cherry now then. Here comes up many things as well. Hop, skip and a jump then over those curbs then. So he's on to the final part of the lap as well. Let me catch up with the comments then. Gaz saying that's what you get for trying a wheel tonight then for Gaz then. So Gaz has gone from the controller to the wheel tonight, and that's, I've got to say, that's quite a brave thing to do there, isn't it, for Gaz? And I must say, wheel and a controller are completely different. Many things invalidated his time, unfortunately, then, so he's going to have another bite of the cherry as well. Ducanco down the back straight. We're just watching Iron Knight then. Oh my word, they're taking a bit too much of the outside curve there for car 66 out of final turn as well. He's harvested as he comes across the line. Iron Knight's down fastest on the medium tyre. You can go into the technical part of the lap as well. So good stuff indeed. So unfortunately, guys, I'm having a couple of issues there with his wheel then, but hopefully he can re-get into the swing of things. And remember, as I said, that this is also the beginning of some drivers will be using it as a beginning, like a pre-season test then for 2021, of course. And the cars are different now. You must think, but of course, I must stress that then as we're beginning our new season on F1 2021. Ducanco goes 5th fastest in the Williams. Good stuff indeed there for Ducanco. I am sweating like I'm standing next to a salad bar at the moment. Goodness me, I am profusing quite wildly in here at the moment now. Irvine now down the back straight, and Joseph coming into the pits as well. I think there's a Ferrari who's just about to start getting going. It's an Alfa Romeo. Oh gosh, sorry, that caught me unaware. Right, ZJ coming into the final turn as well. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? Wilson saying, even though thanks for another great season, ALR. Let's end with a bang then. I gotta say, let's not hope we don't end with too much of a bang then. But yes, I do get what Jake's saying, and let's end with a bang as well. Of course, our partner league, Wilson, of course, the head honcho for our partner league, WNR, of course, said. and they've got a very exciting future coming up as well, haven't they? Of course, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, then, because I think that Wilson might be like to do his own announcement then on the broadcast of his weekend night racing. Then, but yes, then it is very exciting times for weekend night racing, isn't it? So he just down the back straight on the medium tire says, look at that, you guys, look at that. Then, unfortunately, that's a track invalidation there, because curiously you lose a lane down there, don't you? And that is classed as track extension, unfortunately, and because of that, ZGS has lost a lap now. So you've got to kind of drift to the middle of the circuit, don't you? Well, it's very unusual, isn't it? Really, as you lose a lane down there, it's very odd indeed, isn't it? Yeah, you can see it just curiously just drifts in there. Iron Knight is retired from the session there in the pit lane. I don't think Iron Knight's going to be feeling too comfortable with 3 minutes ago, especially as there's a lot of drivers like Liam D, ZGS, many things, and Winnie there, who's about to give another bite of the chair as well. Jinner is also, and Smithy Almighty is also out there as well. So that is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? Becca asking, is Ayrton commentating and racing at the same time? If he is, I hope that Ayrton's got his profanity buzzer at the ready, because he does love her. Because I must say that he can. It does get very wild in the older party chat when Ayrton's racing. But yes, I hope he has got his profanity buzzer at the ready. Star Bus then coming into the coming under the hotel as well. Ducanco just give you that bang joke as well. I've got to say, I'm so far beyond the comments. Because of course Ducanco spun it almost at the end of qualifying too. I need to really pick up my game here, don't I? Starburst out of the final turn as well. I've got a bite on the back of my knee again. It's the other knee now. Starburst only 11 fastest there for the Renault driver. So that's from car 13. That's not too good there from Starburst. He might be disappointed. Now Irvine is invalidated his time, so he's going to have another go. Many things has starting his lap as well. He's down the back straight actually. We've got Gordo saying hello. Wilson, whoops, I jinxed that. Serious Russia as well. As long as he doesn't do it by crashing the pits exit, he should be all right then. Or entry whenever you crashed. Unfortunately, yeah, Wilson got disqualified, didn't he? I think he's the last disqualification of the season thus far. Unfortunately, Wilson is there because he parked in the middle of the circuit in turn 2. Of course, he didn't park in the middle of the circuit. The game decided to throw him there as he spun in the tunnel as well. I don't think we've had any other incidents in the tunnel in this event, have we? I think it's just Wilson, unfortunately, getting that honour. Many things locking up the inside front tyre there in the Red Bull as well. Many things there. Has been a super sub, hasn't he, for the past couple of weeks or so, and he's been very impressive in every discipline that he's put himself to. So he's a man of many talents, isn't he? Many things, but unfortunately he didn't keep it within the track limits there, and he is going to have to go round again. Smithy Almighty is still on a lap at the moment. It looks a good time here, doesn't it? Good stuff indeed there. As we got Pillars in the chat as well. Good evening, and good evening chat, and good evening to me as well. Hello Pillars. Smithy Almighty does not improve. He's 2/10 of a second down at the moment. Winnie is 3/10 of a second down as well. 48 seconds to go in this qualifying session. We have also got Jinner starting his lap as well. He's 10 seconds off the pace there. Looks like they abandoned their times quite early to have another bite of the cherry. We got a racing point down the far end of the circuit. And what about Joseph? Joseph's been validated his time. He's in 6th position now. Joseph is he going to be able to get through, or is this going to be curtains there for Joseph? We'll find out. And many things is down into the down the long straight now. Gordo saying, sorry for changing the topic, but I'm really looking forward to the Euros this and next month, mainly because Scotland is there for what it feels like for the first time ever. Then Scotland, I think it's the first time Scotland been in a major final since the World Cup 1998, I think it was. So yeah, it's definitely the first time in your lifetime, Gordo. Unfortunately, because I'm very much a golden oldie, I was alive when Scotland was last at the major finals, and back in 1998, I can't remember. Did they get out of the group stages in 98? I don't think they did they? Unfortunately, I try and scrub off the memory of the World Cup 98 after Beckham decided to get a red card, didn't he, against Argentina. But less said about that, the better, isn't it, really? Anyway, many things into the final turn as well. And look, the checkered flag has fallen for a lot of drivers here. Many things there. Might get through. He does get through in the qualifying free. Good stuff indeed there. Smith Almighty is very much. And Jinner's out of qualifying. That's a huge shock here. And Jinner's going to be a bit disappointed. And he will start 11th, which is quite, for what Cosworth is a pretty good place to start in terms of strategy. Smithy Almighty is through into qualifying 3, but he has going to start on 4-lap old soft tyres, and so those soft tyres have been put through the ringer here in this qualifying 2 session, and that is one of the rules. Of course, this qualifying 2 session, you must start on a tyre which you set your fastest time on in this qualifying session. Unfortunately for Smithy, he has done 4 laps on those soft tyres. He's done 3 qualifying laps, hasn't he? Or probably quite at the or quite it'd be quite quick, won't he? Unfortunately, so that is quite a so that may be a problem for Smith Almighty later on, but he is in qualifying 3 nonetheless, and so very good stuff indeed then. Great stuff, Ben. We've got Kakarot Goku saying, yours are Friday already opening match, not already opening the match, it's not next month, Ben. Well, yeah, they continue into next month as well then. Gareth Bale, the masterclass, is going to masterclass this tournament then. Oh, goodness me then. I got to be honest, I think Bale doesn't get as much credit as what he deserved in the Premier League. I got to say, I think he did actually rather well, if you look at his stats. And I am a bit of a stats man. I love the old stats. Good stuff indeed then. Gareth saying it's football, not golf then as well. It's just coming down the old comments as well. I hope you're good. Mushroom and Gordo as well. Good stuff indeed there from Pillar said. It's all about the wee little John for Wales. Beautiful player. Laugh out loud there for Gaz as well. Gordo saying, I used to get told lots of stories about Italian 1990. Sounds brilliant. Said vintage looks like you might win the pole. As we're just going through into qualifying 3, and out of qualifying we've lost CGS, and he didn't even set another time after we seen him there having issues on his medium run there. Same with Liam D down in 14th position there. Winnie in 13th position, Starburst in 12th, Jinner in 11th position then, and out of qualifying into the top 10 then we have 8 cars on the soft tyres, we have 2 cars on the medium tyres. That's Joseph and Iron Knight, of course, so those are the starting tyres then for qualifying 3. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of this, but I did fall over in the I did fall over on that Saturday after taking me job there. Of course, it was the ground. It was very uneven. It wasn't me having a drink during the day or anything like that. But yeah, I've really grazed my knee and it really hurts still. And what makes it worse now is it's got very itchy all of a sudden, hasn't it? It's because I'm really starting to perspire in this oven of the summer at the moment, and of course also the oven of Abu Dhabi as well. We got to get the old stats back up. If Vince is driving in Cobalt, he would win every race. Then can't disrespect the Cobalt drivers like that from Brooksy as well. Of course, I would say Vince is a very quick customer, isn't he? He's been very unlucky in bronze, but I wouldn't say he'll walk away from Cobalt. That's just my opinion there. But of course, it would be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Because as out of the pits now comes hammer time as well. Because you would think there with qualifying times like, for example, I don't want to put Chazza and Emerson in the spotlight, but Chazza did a 32.8 in the second qualifying run, didn't he? In the qualifying 2 of gold on Sunday, with that kind of pace, you would have thought that he might have walked away from Abu Dhabi, from the race in Abu Dhabi, but unfortunately it didn't transpire that way, did it? So of course there's a lot of if but and maybes in Formula One. It's built. The reason why we love this sport, it is not one on paper, is it? As we also found out on Sunday as well, that incredible Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Of course, if that race was run on paper, it would have been Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen 1-2 or 7 along that lines, wasn't it? But instead it was Sergio Perez with his second Grand Prix win of his career. And I love this stat, by the way. He's the only driver in the hybrid era to win in 2 different teams. That is, I think I got that right. That's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I'm saying that. It just shows how dominant the Mercedes has been in this hybrid era, really, doesn't it? There, but that's fantastic, isn't it? How the tables are starting to really turn now, isn't it? Just as we get some new rules coming, it's always the same, isn't it? Really, where the rules have stabilised for a couple of years or so, and they start to bunch up, and then they change them again, don't they? But if it's anything like the 2009 rules, that was a good old shake-up, wasn't it? Of course, it was of course the one and done Brawn, wasn't it, team there? The only time they've ever participated in the Formula 1 World Championship season, they've won the constructors and the drivers there, with Jenson Button and Ross Brawn at the helm as well. It was a very good season as well. It's one of my favourites, actually. Albeit the F1 cars looked like lawnmowers, didn't they, to begin with? As I think it was Martin Brundle that described them like that in qualifying, which always stuck with me. The bigger, it was very very unusual, those cars were back then, because we went from these very low to the floor cars there to a very tall rear wing then, and a very wide front nose cone, a very wide front wing now. So yeah, very unusual looking cars, wasn't it, back then? As I'm saying, he said a 33, that's looking good then. I'm joking. I mean, almost every race. I no disrespect there from Kakarot Goku. Of course, and as I feel that it's very difficult, isn't it, to really judge, isn't it, about who's going to do what in a league kind of scenario, isn't it? But we do what we. So, for example, it's got yellow flags. It's one of the racing points is miles off the circuit. That's Joseph, who's has had some problems there. This and he's got to disqualified that from the session as he was not quick enough, according to Codemasters, oh my gosh, are you mad, bro? Time to take evasive action now. Disqualified from this session now. Joseph is, unfortunately, Codemasters deemed that he was lingering about there. Joseph wasn't lingering about at all, was he? He was just trying to get himself back onto the track, and that's a sorry state to see the BWT Racing Point, the last qualifying session of their career in ALR. Unfortunately, they're parked up at the side of the road then, unfortunately. So that's a huge shame indeed. Hammer Time is still on a lap though, is he, in the Red Bull? Hammer Time has had a Grand Prix win. He's never had a pole position though, has he, so far in Cobalt? Can he put that one to bed tonight then? He is fastest so far on a 34.4 there for the Red Bull. Fantastic stuff indeed then. But as we fly through into turn one as well. Brooksy coming back into the pits. Now, I love the helmet, by the way, Brooksy. Fantastic stuff. Irvine now into turn 20 and into turn 21 then, out of the final turn then. And let's see what Irvine can do on this day. At the moment now, he's only second fast at the moment, so I think there's a bit more time in the piggy bank there. Into the pits there comes, I think it's Picasso there. Ducanco out of the final turn. Ducanco goes second fast there, 10th of a second away from Hammer Time. Looking very close indeed then. You mad bro, had a bit of a quiet last couple of races in Cobalt, isn't he? But he's just job done from you mad bros, putting through, isn't he? He comes across the line, he goes third fastest then in the Alfa Romeo. Good stuff indeed then. Iron Knights just about to start us up then. Here comes Smithy Almighty then, get a bit tail happy out of turn 20 then, but he's kept on the island. That's all. That's the most important thing. Smithy Almighty goes fourth fastest then. Or not, it's going to start another lap as well. Just versus saying that Cobalt have silver pace for most part. Percy is saying no hard feelings, but that's great for me and Brooksy. Let's just now on board then with the Williams car at the moment. I think that I got to say, if we was ever allowed to have 80 cars in a single Formula One race, that's got and have gold, silver, bronze, and cobalt, I must say, I don't think it'd be gold in the top 20, silver in the top 40, bronze in the top 60, and cobalt in the last 10. That is not. I don't think that would be any stretch of the imagination there, because I think that racing is sometimes it's a lottery, isn't it? It's not just about being quick; it's about the strategy calls as well, isn't it? It's also about the one lap pace. It's about one lap pace over long distance pace, isn't it? It's about choosing to go on the right tires at the right time, whether you want to go on the medium, soft, or hard tire. And of course, it's all about setting up the cars as well, isn't it? And I know a lot of drivers are much better at setting up the cars than, for example, me, as I just seem to steal other people's setups and just like kind of go with the flow kind of thing. But there's a lot of drivers that like to tinker with their cars, don't they, before the Grand Prix itself. And so it's not as cut and dry as about gold is top and cobalt's at the bottom there, because I don't think that's any stretch of the imagination. In terms of pace, I don't think that's like that at all. Iron Knight goes third fast there on a 34.6 there. Good stuff indeed there for Iron Knight. Smithy Almighty going for a second by the cherry as well. He's in fifth fastest. Good stuff indeed there for Smithy Almighty. Brooks is saying good for Joseph there, as yeah, that was very unlucky indeed then. And as that is such a shame, isn't he? As Percy saying that, yeah, it's happened to him before. I think it did happen to Joseph before, didn't it, as well? Where he got very unlucky. He was the same. I think it was qualifying free again, wasn't it? Good job, you guys got better memories than I have, then. Goodness me. Smithy Almighty there, just into the grandstand section there as well. Iron Knights come down the back straight. Hammer Time is currently on pole position then for the final race of the season here in ALR. Hammer Time is fast, and this will be his first pole position of his career in the final race of F1 2020. And so starting off as he means to go on in F1 2021. Ducanco on the front row of the grid. Good stuff indeed there. Right to his F1 session. Hopefully we'll be back in just a jiffy. Iron Knight in third position. And you mad bro, the world champion in fourth position. Smithy fifth. Irvine Irvine in 6th position. We know there's more to come from Irvine. Many things is not set time yet, nor is Picasso and nor is Brooks as well, but they're out of the garages now and they're about to start some time runs. Picasso's already on the lap. Many things is on the lap, so is Brooksy as well then. And then coming down the back straight then is Sirius Russian there. It's got behind Dukanko, who's currently second fastest man in, and Iron Knight is third as well. Good stuff indeed. There we are, coming down the back straight. Of course, that camera shot's really foreshortens that straight, doesn't it? It's a very long straight down there, isn't it? And of course, the cars are traveling almost at an excess of 200 miles an hour, don't they? Incredible speeds, these Formula 1 cars, aren't they? And they are so big these days, aren't they? The Formula 1 cars are. I'm looking forward to it for 2022 rules, because what I'd like to see is the cars to be a lot smaller, because these ones are just too big and too long, I think. Then, but then again, I must admit, I haven't really looked at the 2022 rules because, unfortunately, I'm not technically gifted enough to understand them. So what I kind of do is just wait until the season starts and then let Ted Kravitz go through in a bit more detail. Picasso getting on the curb there a bit too much there, and getting a bit squirrely on the old rear end. And because of that, then that might have affected that lovely black and dark blue helmet. That's a fantastic helmet design. Picasso is invalidating his time, so he's coming back into the pits, or he was coming back into the pits. He's missed the pit entry there, and yes, it's very easily done, isn't it? As he lights up his rear tires and comes back into the pits. Right, here comes Brooksy. He's been on pole position 4 times this season, Cobalt, hasn't he? If Irvine gets on pole tonight, then of course Irvine will be on the 4 pole position as well. Absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? There from both those cars. They're very quick, aren't they? And the old one that pace there. Brooksy out of the final turn. He hasn't set a time just yet in qualifying 3. He's about to put that one to a side there, and he does. He's on pole position by 0.8 of a second there. My goodness me. Oh, that was so good. I've got cramp in my thigh. Oh, that's amazing stuff there from Brooksy. Fantastic. And he is on pole position then for the 5th time in his ALR Cobalt career. And this is exactly what he wants, isn't it? Many things there coming out of turn 19 as well. And as Troy say, or as Sean says it, Dukanko. I gotta say, Dukanko or Duncan or Dave, as told me how to say his name in the last time when I was interviewing him, and unfortunately, I got some memory look at Sid, so I apologise, Dukanko. But I thought I was saying it right then, to be honest, but I think that he's just fed up with correcting me, isn't he? And many things have gone 6 fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed. And Picasso back in the pit set as Knight is starting to really take over then in the final race of ALR 20 to ALR on Formula 1 2020. And our journey has been electric, hasn't it? I think we started off back in July of last year then, so almost a year since we started our journey on F1 2020 then. We've almost gone around the sun, so fantastic, isn't it there? So we got Brooks there just come back into the pits, and he's on pole position mode now. He's got 0.8 of a second deficit. Can anyone stop Brooks? Is he home and dry then? I think that's a home run then. I don't think Brooks is going to be caught, is he? Or am I just counting my chickens before they hatch? As we got Picasso then a bit disappointed with that then after a couple of issues there on his lap then. So hopefully Picasso will come back out again then. I think he'd be more unhappy that I caught it on stream then, so I apologise there, Picasso. Irvine now just flicking it through the opening part of the lap as well. Where's he gone? There he is. I missed him then as I looked down briefly then, and Irvine's already 0.2 of a second up in the first sector time now. Of course then, so it's the drivers then who have had the best form in terms of qualifying trim then going head to head. Then this is what I want to see, isn't it? Brooksy and Irvine, pole position 4 times there for Brooksy, 3 times for Irvine as well. This is what we want to see, isn't it, in qualifying the final race of the season. These two are 1-lap specialists, aren't they? They are very quick customers indeed then, as we break down the back straight as well, and accelerate to the way, and now going over the curb. And Brooksy said he got disqualified in Japan as it happened to him then. So that's I think that's why Brooksy and Percy then is feeling Joseph's pain there. Unfortunately, he is going to be starting 10th on the grid there. Remember, it's a fight between Brooksy, Joseph. Irvine's invalidated his time with half a minute to go. Oh my goodness me, that has put the momentum back on Brooksy then. Oh goodness me. I figure Irvine's going to be kicking himself. He's got 20 seconds so to make it to the line. Can he make it to the line? Yellow flags. Picasso's off, and this is a nightmare in the qualifying now for Picasso. Oh goodness me, that is such a shame there for Picasso. Irvine's got 6 seconds if my clock is not desynced then. Let's take a look then. I think that Irvine now is not harvesting. I think this might be the end of it. No, he's carrying on then. No, then it's the checkered flag's not fallen, fallen, has it? No, it hasn't, because Irvine could have another bite of cherry. You Mad Bro is also just coming into the final turn as well, so You Mad Bro is about to start his final qualifying lap of his season in Cobalt, and there he comes across the line, and Hammer Time is the furthest driver around there as he's coming into the chicane as well. He's on the final part of the course then, and accelerating away then. Seriously saying that's cruel for Irvine. It is indeed then, as Picasso also is going to be very disappointed with that as well, isn't he? And now we're on board. And Iron Knight is retired from the session there. He's retired from the session there. He's going to be fourth on the grid at the very least. So where's he gone? Oh, goodness me then. We had a crash there between Mark Webber and Roman Grosjean, I think, back in 2012, if I remember. Hammer Time at the front. And Hammer Time is second fast. He improves by half a second. Hammer Time's on the front row. That's a mega lap then. Many thinks in Validator's happy. He's in the pits. Oh, and he almost went to the barrier. Oh, goodness gracious me then. I've got to say that's pit in there. It's becoming very tricky for these drivers. And Ducanco improves by 3/10 of a second. Now he's third fastest there for the Williams driver. Irvine then is 5/10 seconds over the second split time. Picasso then, of course, there. Lovely shot there for the Mercedes. Oh, love it that. But Picasso, unfortunately, is out his qualifying session. He's 9 fast, and Joseph is 10 for the moment. Irvine is only 8 fast, and this is perfect for Brooks, isn't it? This is exactly what he needs then if he wants to get promoted into Cobalt for next season. Into bronze for next season. Into the final turn then for Irvine. This is the last lap of F1 2020 on ALR. Out of the final turn. Is it enough, Fed, for pole? It's enough for 4 fast, and Irvine is on the second row of the grid. Brooksy has got the most pole positions in ALR Cobalt history with 5. And fantastic stuff. That is just under a 50% strike rate. Magnificent stuff. That is a magical up there from Brooksy. He is on pole position then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And the final qualifying session of ALR comes to a close then. So magnificent stuff indeed then. He's going to be celebrating by being in his garage and just having his feet up and probably sipping on a slush puppy. I think they do. They used to eat slush puppies, don't they? I'm not sure if they do them anymore. I used to love them when I go in bowling. I like the red ones personally. Oh, very nice then. But Brooksy then is not going to be concerned about any slush puppies now. He is going to be focused on the race itself, isn't it? As we are counting down to the final race of ALR on F1 2020 as well. Percy saying, "Get in!" As he is going to be very happy with that. 3/10 of a second now. Brooksy had an 8/10 of a second gap to begin that final qualifying there. But in the end, but I've got to say, Hammer Time did a very good job there. He found half a second there on his final lap there. Hammer Time did, but it was second today for Hammer Time. Ducanco in third position, a very strong qualifying, and I think that's his best qualifying performance since the Belgian Grand Prix, wasn't it? Irvine in fourth position. I wonder what would have happened if he got his first time running there. But Irvine ends the season with 3 pole positions with Brooksy on 5. You Mad Bro, the world champion in 6th position, alongside Iron Knight in 5th position. Iron Knight's 11th Grand Prix starts like fantastic. Many things in 7th position there. 8th is Smith and Mighty. Picasso in 9th there. He had some issues at turn 4 and unfortunately didn't get a time in. And Joseph was disqualified because the FI decided that he was taking too long to try and recover back onto the circuit, which is very unfair of him, isn't it? Right, the race is now about to begin. So that was a great end to qualifying, wasn't it? Good stuff did then. Gareth has messaged as well, just saying that that's what you get for trying to wheel. That's very unfortunate there, Gareth, isn't it? But hopefully this race could be very much about those very much about like getting your eye in for it next season. Right then, is now just starting now, getting ready for the start of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as well. So all the drivers are now out on the circuit and they're about to get going then. We got some nose cones in the garages, haven't we? Just outside the garages, I should say then. Ready for the teams that might need to change the nose cone if there's any untoward issues going on in the opening stages of the race then coming up then. But hopefully not then. Hopefully a clean start and hopefully it is going to be a cracker indeed then. Can I ask how Irvine went and did another lap when the flag was waved before he crossed the line to start a lap, but he still got to do another one? I think it's because I'm about 30 seconds in front, so my clock is not as right as yours. And so, for example, I think that my clock started 30 seconds before everyone else's did. So, in terms of the drivers there, they had 30 seconds on the time, whilst I was basically the checkered flag was fluttering for me. That is that's what I think's happened anyway. Well, it was so. Hopefully, there's no other issues going on. Indeed, then, but we'll find out that time is out of sync now for Service Russian. Yep, that's how you say it. It's really just that there's me like going all the way around the houses there because I did know to explain that Service Russian now. One sentence, bam, and it's done. No hard tire in sight. Then as we start the formation lap, soft tires then for Brooksy, Hammerton, Dukanko, Irvine, You Mad Bro, Many Things, Smithy, and Picasso. Iron Knight and Joseph are all on the medium tires and who qualified into the top 10. Everyone else is on the soft, everyone else is on the fresh medium tires on board Brooksy. 5 pole positions in this season for Brooksy. He has got an 8-point deficit between himself and between Joseph, and that is what we're going to be looking at then for this season, for this session then. It's of course said whether Brooksy can sneak himself into the top 3 then. If they finish on the same point, Brooksy will go through because he's got more Grand Prix wins. It will go on count back, and Brooksy has 2 Grand Prix wins then, but having said that, if Joseph wins, then well, it wouldn't make a difference because Joseph would be through. Yeah, so if Brooksy there, if they are joint on the same points, then Brooks will go through because he have one more Grand Prix win than Joseph then. But we'll find out then. Let's get going, shall we then? Right then. So Brooksy on pole position, then 28 laps to go. Then Hammer Time is second. Third position is Dukanko. Irvine in fourth. Iron Knight's in fifth position. Here he is then. Sixth position is You Mad Bro, the world champion. Seventh is Many Things. Smithy Almighty is 8th, and Picasso in 9th position. 10th position is Joseph then. Jinner in 11th position, he gets to start whatever tires he wants to, so he's got a fresh set of boots. 12th position is Starbust. I've actually said his name right, I think, consistently for the first time ever in the session. 13th position is Widdy. Liam D in 14th. ZGS is 15th. Scooby Stew 16th. Kaz is 17th. Gaz is 18th. He's on a wheel, remember. 19th is Righty. Hopefully he'll get control of his car. 20th position is Styles then. The Haas cars needs to score at least 3 points and to get himself level pegging. Otherwise, they were the first car in the history of ALR to unfortunately finish on minus points then, which would be a shame now for the Haas team, won't it? But I believe that Gaz and Salzar could get some points on the board there, as they've been very unlucky. As we now line up on the grid then to start the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Thank you for the likes as well, by the way, guys. That's very appreciative from my side. I know, of course, from the admin's side as well. On board of Styles then into the final turn. And we're about to get going then for one more time. This is the last start then on Formula 1 2020. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves in the last year or so. It's been fantastic, hasn't it? And we're now about to get going as well. Then there are the lights as well. As there's of course there. I am in a desync there situation there, so the lights are on. But unfortunately, we're not starting just yet. But Liam D has had a fantastic start there, and there he goes. As the revs are on, then it's a jump start for Brooksy there, and I think that's because of Liam D, who he reacted. He was on such a sprung, wasn't he, there? And he reacted as soon as Liam D went past there. I think that's what's happened there for Liam D. For Brooksy. That's such a shame. And yellow flag in one there as we got issues out the back of the field there. It's we got a Mercedes for Picasso. An issue there, and Gaz has got a penalty as well. And what's going on here? Iron Knight's off the circuit as well. And Gaz got a severe penalty. A virtual safety car. Right from the get-go, indeed. Then Brooksy is going to be furious with that. Then Becca saying a beautiful start from the Renault. Lovely stuff indeed. Then was that Becca's Renault again, and Becca is oh goodness me, she is really throwing the barbs in the chat there. Of course, Becca is an expert at the expert at the jump start around here, isn't she? Of course, she dominated that race, the last race in bronze around here, not before last night. Fantastic, wasn't it? Unfortunately, from Brooksy's point of view, though, he jumped the start I think he jumped the start because as soon as he seen Liam D, he just went, didn't he? Because that is the problem, is that where you're so focused on those lights there, and that is such a shame now for Brooksy. That's really going to compromise him in his journey to get into bronze for next season. So Brooksy is on the back foot here. What a shame there. What a shame indeed there for Brooksy. Anyway, virtual safety car is ended then, so we're back green here in the race then. And Hammer Time then is up into second position. Look at that then. It's Picasso going past Many Things. He's dropped down the order there. Unfortunately there for Many Things. He's down 4 positions there. We've also lost, so he's down 4 positions there. Smithy and Starbust, Starbust has also dropped down the order as well. He's got damage there to this car, and we've also got Smithy gotten damage as well. Iron Knight, Smithy, and Starbust having some major gremlins then as they come out to complete that one. Brooksy coming into the pits then, and that is absolutely a shame there for Brooksy as he comes into the pits. That one completed then. Hammer Time leads. Second position is Dukanko. Third position is You Mad Bro. Irvine in fourth. Jinner in fifth. Six is now Joseph. Winning seventh. Many things say Brooksy is still in having his drive-through pony, so he's going to have the drive of his life now. And that is such a shame, isn't it? And just on board now then with Dukanko as he is coming, as he is just hovering over Hammer Time at the moment now. Looking in the comments at the moment now, it is as we just got Percy is asked. Well, before we do, Troy said, I wonder who learned him that then. Is I think Troy there is giving a bit of give banter there to his former teammate Welshman Nada. Of course, they are no longer team. Well, they might be. No, they won't be teammates next season because they're in two different divisions now, isn't they? But of course, those are the Constructors World Champions. Percy asking, how does Liam get a drive for penalty? I don't think Liam's in the session by the looks, because he's got a red X next to his name then. So Liam's car is in AI mode at the moment, and he just went when the lights went on when the lights went out for me, kind of thing now. So Liam's not in the session, so ignore Liam. But unfortunately, Brooksy, as he mentioned in the comments, that he said exactly what we thought. Then he went as soon as he'd seen a bit of movement there, because that's how highly sprung you're going to be at the start, aren't you? So as Becca said, that Brooksy would be tamping if I'll be tamped if I was Brooksy. Exactly right then, because I think Brooksy should be absolutely livid with that there, because he's done the job in qualifying. Unfortunately, this is not good at all. But seriously, saying Brooksy has the pace, so no worries just yet then. Oh my gosh. Come through then to complete lap 3 now. Liam has to drop back, or does he, Becca, then? As a serious question there is just, I think that we're getting a lot of banter from the last race in bronze we had here a couple of seasons ago then. As Liam D just dropped down the order now as well, because he is not in the session then. Irvine in full position then, Irvine is, and so he'll be fairly happy with that. And yellow flag in 3, we've got McLaren having some issues, and it's Righty who's got off the circuit then, and not good at all is it for Righty, and the McLaren team, and so Righty is having some, he's got a safety car now. That is good, that could potentially be good news then for the drivers that came in the pits earlier on then, and I'm wondering then who is that. Oh, so that's going to be good news for then. So is anyone going to come into the pits? And Brooksy down 12 positions, unfortunately, because of that jump start. So who is going to be coming in the pits then? Is any of the soft runners then going to be coming in the pits who did their qualifying up on the soft tires? So let's find out, shall we? And see what goes on from there. Right then, as we're just taking a look through the comments as well then. Percy saying that is great then. So yes, potentially, and this could be good news for for Hammer Time as well. Oh gosh, I'm sweating. We've got Dukanko in second position mode then. So who's going to come in the pits then? Who is primed and ready to go then? Here's Smithy Almighty. I think the safety cars because of Righty's issue there in the final turn. There is Bert Mylander then. He has had a very action-packed season in the ALR, hasn't he? For one there, he took me out in Brazil. Unfortunately, he didn't take me to a nice restaurant, because he actually just took me out there. He turned into me, or he turned off the racing line. I wasn't looking, perhaps. But there you go. And he also nerfed Ayrton off the track in the Hungarian Grand Prix as well then. So technically Ayrton could probably sue Bert Mylander for getting relegated from silver then, because perhaps that might have cost him a place in silver for next season then. On board then with Hammer Time. Is he coming in the pits? He is, you know. He is coming in the pits. So Hammer Time in the pits. Dukanko has stayed out. You mad bro in the pits as well. And we know that Hammer Time and You Mad Bro also share the same part, don't we, after the interview of a couple of weeks ago then. So Hammer Time into the pits and throwing on the medium tires. And it's the world. Oh, is he going to come out? Oh, Red Bull found him the gap there. That was great stuff from the Red Bull team. Magnificent. I can't find You Mad Bro. There he is. And he's coming out of the pits now on the medium tires. Irvine in hot pursuit as well then. We've got Brooksy, who is in 13th position still then. So Brooksy, unfortunately, he is gaining time then, but let's see where You Mad Bro comes out now then. And here he is then. And here he is as well as that is they fly out then. So Brooksy's in front of You Mad Bro, and Irvine at the moment as well. And so we've got Gaz coming into the pits as he is throwing on a new nose cone there for the Haas car. Gaz has said it's here, yes indeed. And so new medium tires and new nose cone. He should be back in there. Righty, who I think caused the safety car having issues in the final turn, and he's on the soft tires. Righty is that he's on a new nose cone as well then for the McLaren driver, and he should be coming out then. So we've got a safety car. Hopefully the safety car period shouldn't be too long, because the field is still bunched up here at this moment, isn't it? As we've only just got going in this Grand Prix, haven't we? As they accelerate out as well now. Oh, I've got a little notification about the reliving the Premier League's best highlights of the season. I think that there ain't no highlights for me in the Premier League this season, apart from Alisson headering that goal against West Brom, was it? But apart from that, then nothing to write home about for me, unfortunately. There, but that's because I'm a sore loser. As we got Righty then, who is on the bat, who's just put on some new tires. So in the safety car period, then we have got Hammer Thomas coming to the pits, and we've also had Bro in the pits and Irvine as well. Picasso, Starbust, Gaz, Iron Knight, Smithy, and Righty have all stopped once in this Grand Prix. They're all going to have to stop again because no way Pedro, as those tyres, going to get to the end then. So they're all going to have to come into the pits and for another time as well. Because I would say some people have said that this may be a one-stopper, but I feel that the best way around to run this race, judging from gold, silver, from a gold, silver, and bronze, and it's possibly a multi pit stop race. This will be. Ginner's gone from 11th to he's gone from 11th to 2nd so far. Fantastic stuff from a Ginner then. And Ducanco is now in the pits then. So Ducanco coming in the pits a lap later, and I'm wondering, so he's going to lose a lot of time here. He's going to fall all the way to the back of the crocodile because unfortunately they've all bunched up now with a lap under the safety car then. So Ducanco may have missed the trick here because he ain't going to have his track. He's going to be right out of the back of the field then, compared to Bro and Irvine, who came into the pits earlier on then. He is now on the medium tyres then. So Ducanco may have missed a trick or two in the Williams car as he is now coming into the tunnel and accelerating away then. Got to be very careful in that tunnel, haven't they? I'm surprised that no one's actually crashed in the tunnel, really, haven't they? Unfortunately, we've seen Jake Wilson having a couple of issues there in the qualifying session in the silver. He ain't going to appreciate me bringing it up again, is he? So he's very much going to be waving his fist at me through his screen of whatever device he's watching on. But yes, I do like to bring up bad memories of drivers, don't I? Because I seem to remember a lot of drivers' bad memories. Righty is getting a lot of red X going on over there. So when we see that from Tango's point of view, we know that Tango's about to leave. Exit the stage right, isn't he? I hope that I'm the case for Righty at the moment there, but we'll soon find out then. But Ducanco is going to be very nervous about overtaking that McLaren car if it's having red X's going all over. Yes, Righty has left the session there. That's not good at all. I think that Ducanco might be a bit happy about that though. But we'll find out then. But we'll find out if we can get back in the session before the end of the safety car period as well. Then. So at the moment, then, so we got Ginner leading. Joseph is now up in the second position. Then, so that's qualification earlier on. Then in qualifying 3. Well, that hasn't been too bad for Joseph now, is it? Because he is now back up in his second position. And Liam D is not there at the moment now because Liam D is a ghost. So we can't really count him at the moment. So we got safety car is in the end of this lap. Then his safety car has disappeared. Oh, there he is. So safety car is in the pits then, so we're about to get going once again then. So Ginner then is the lead car, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm saying that after 5 laps. Ginner was started down 11th position. Lovely home, by the way. I love the yellow helmet combination there for Ginner. But yes, the safety car is in the end of this lap then. We're about to go green once again then in car 14 for Ginner. He allowed that number for next season, of course, and as Fernando Alonso will be pinching that number back off him as he returns to the Alpine team, don't they? Because Alpine and the Aston Martin will be joining the ALR grid for next season, and looking forward to commentating on those car manufacturers. That's going to be great, isn't it? Right, we're back racing then. Once again, and I've bit my lip. Let's go. Oh no, Ginner hasn't gone yet, and has he? So now he's going, and when is he going to pull, drop the clutch, put his toe down? It's go, and it's go again then. So Ginner leads it, and we've got Brooksy, who has just got past. Kaz there is struggling there. He's really struggling. Well, Kaz there is having some major issues, and Righty is back in the session, and he's gone very wide. Then Hammer Time is having a look there. Look at this, and oh goodness me, then look at that. Then Ferrari's off, and that's Winnie. He's come back on the second, and Hammer Time to take a face of action there, and he's in the barrier. Oh my goodness me, an awful crash here, there, and that is horrific stuff there. As Hammer Time had to take a face of action there, as that Ferrari was rebounded back into the scene of into the centre of the of the track there. Hammer Thomas got a 10-second penalty for some unknown reason there for trying to avoid a crash. So that is not good, is it? And the two Haas cars are now going to going to work against each other. And the guys now up into a 13th position as well. As that is a horrific accident indeed. Then Lee, as we got ZJS now moving up into 6th position. Brooksy's back up into a 5th position now after his drive-through peloton. So this could be one of these crazy races then as well. And look at that, it's on McLaren now struggling down the back straight, and Kaz is in 12th position now. And Starbus has now moved up moving up into a very fine 12th position as well. Then so just take a look now. So we've got a lot of overtaking action at the moment. As Stiles is dropping down the order now. Stiles having some issue in the Haas car. He's down 80th position run, and Hammer Thomas got a 10-second penalty because of basically to avoid an accident there. Basically, that's in a nutshell really. That is such a shame. Then winning his left session on his final race, on his final start here in ALR Cobalt for this season. He is out of the Grand Prix, and that's such a shame, isn't it, for Winnie there, because he's as high as 5th at that stage, wasn't he, before he went into the barrier. Quite a rate of knots on board of Brooks in the pole sitter out of drive-through penalty, and it's action galore right from the get-go here in Cobalt. And goodness me, then what else would you expect there on the final race as well? Brooks, he's flying. Look at him, he's going for it. He's having a look, then go down so magnificent there. He's got past 2 cars, has he? He has. Incredible. Haas is off the circuit, and Gas is off the circuit, and ZGS there is losing time, hand over fist, and he hasn't come into the pit yet, has he? And now then ZGS is going out to defend then, because Irvine is right underneath the rear wing. He's through, and he passes the Alfa Romeo driver. He is up into 6th position there. Wow, incredible racing there then, and how they didn't come to blows with each other. It's absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. Picasso going wide then, but he has gone up and past many things as well. Starbus struggling to get the traction out of that chicane, then it breaks up this long straight then, and now we're going for another big stop at the end then as well. Alfa Romeo's all over the back now. I think that's you mad bro on Brooks in a minute. Look left, it's Starburst up the inside. He passes the Red Bull driver, and he is through into 9th position there. Fantastic stuff there. Starburst, his next target is Picasso, and he's getting a bit squirrely on the old rear then before going into the very technical part of the circuit, which is this final sector here. Junior's got a 2.1 second lead at the moment, and Joseph is currently getting promoted into the bronze for next season as it stands. And of course, what about Irvine? Irvine should be as well at the moment. Of course, there need to be a major point swing then for Irvine not to be promoted. And Starburst out of the final corner as well, and so he is very much on the gearbox. And there's the pit window then, powered by AWS. Then it sounds to me that Emerson doesn't really like AWS, and from the comments last night, and he was seeming very suspect of some of their stats then from last night. Wasn't the Emerson did say? I got to say, I think Emerson doesn't trust technology, does he? I think he's watched too many Terminator films, hasn't he? Righty has left the session now, so Righty on some technical gremlins then on his final race of his first season in Cobalt. That's such a shame now for Righty in the McLaren, isn't it? Down the back straight as Search Russia does only 2 go up. Nope, we've got all three drivers go up in Cobalt. We've got you mad bro who was already through and up. Look at this, and there is you mad bro. He is already through and into bronze next season. But then it's the fight between Irvine, it's the fight between Brooksy, and it's the fight between Joseph as well. Irvine is 26 points in front of Brooksy at the moment then. So basically, if Brooksy wants to get through, he has to win and get fastest. Look! Scooby Stew! We've already just gone straight into the back of someone there, and Scooby Stew there trying to recover. He's come back on the track, and he's goodness me now, and he's doing some donuts there. Scooby Stew is. I think that's frustration there from the Mercedes car, unfortunately. Starburst is all over the back of Picasso now. Starburst on the outside. That's a magical maneuver there. No, it isn't there. Picasso there is just gone back on the inside there. Starburst there. It's going to be furious on that one. It's the yellow flags. And when the Mercedes is having issues out of the background as well. Starburst good on the outside there. Of course, you don't really see many overtakes there, do you? And I think that Picasso there was not having any of that, was he? And now then we're on lap 9 here in a Cobalt as well, and of course that is the natural light is turning into darkness as well. And Righty is back in the session and in 14th position, Righty is. And so he's still got as a Ducanco, he's just got past many things there to turn 1, magnificent stuff there. As many things, got a 3-second penalty for his efforts, and you mad bros all over the back of Brooksy. Brooksy has not come into the pits, has he? And you mad bros, I'm looking, here is the champ, here he is, and he runs the the camp, doesn't he? You mad pro. He is in 4th position at the moment, and right underneath the rear wing of Brooksy. This is a potentially big day for Brooksy, however, at the moment, but the promotion is out of his hands. He has to outscore Joseph by 9 points then to, 8 points then to get himself promoted into bronze for next season. Hammer Time is at the fast out of the race, as Hammer Time is... As Hammer Time, then I've got to say, I think he was one of the most unluckiest drivers in this Grand Prix. He's got a 10-second penalty for avoiding a collision as well. Of course, the cars do ghost him, but just like what Brooksy experienced though in the Picasso on the inside of ZGS now. Picasso is flying through the field here, doing a good job. Oh my gosh, there! My word, there! I forgot to open my mouth when I was breathing. Oh, Starburst there, gonna be tail happy there. So Picasso is through and up in the 6th position now. CGS down into 7th, and Starburst then right under the gearbox as well in 8th position. Then, so is goodness me then. So Picasso is trying to make hay whilst his tires are very much in the ballpark. Yeah, and then next target then for ZGS, or next offensive game for ZGS, as Brooksy is in the pits, and so he comes into the pits, and so I think that he is mirroring his original strategy then, Brooksy, and so he's ignoring the safety card for this opening stint then, and he is just going with what would have happened without the safety card. So he's in the pits on lap 10 then. That is around the time then for a 2-stopper, I'd say. He's gone the medium tires. I think he'll go to soft after those medium tires then for a sprint to the end of the race then. Back on board, Starburst and 3/10 of a second behind it, the Alfa Romeo driver, and it is 3/10 of a second. It's a climbing all over the curbs as well. We got Joseph, who's all over the back of Styles, and here is Styles head in 12th position. Styles been a very unlucky driver rest of the season, and Styles is, but fair play to him for carrying and for cracking on as well as neither as many drivers. And if anyone had as much bad luck as Styles had, I think they would have called it a day by now. But Styles, no, he's a competitor, isn't he? Styles is good stuff indeed. And absolutely loving that. I've got to say, I wish I had some of Styles' mentality. I seem to lose my head when the slightest inconvenience, and that's in Formula 1 and in real life. Starburst then on the outside, then ZGS, he passes ZGS, and he's up into 5th position there. ZGS is dropping like a stone at the moment, but ZGS is on old medium tires. I thought Picasso lost it then on old medium tires, and now we've got Ducanco, who of course is coming back from the field as well after he was pointing at the wrong way at the beginning of this race. Brooks is back in the 14th position, and look at these drivers, and they're all over the back of each other as well. A big old breaking point into turn 16. I think I'll lose the corner numbers around here. There's 21 turns, isn't there? I struggled to count above 15 really, so which is Hammer Time is in the wall, and he is out of the race there, and that's it's a safety car. That's a very unusual place to lose it there for Hammer Time, and I'm wondering if he's damaged the car. I'm wondering if he got on the power, and just spun around there. But Hammer Time had a 10-second penalty for his troubles anyway. Picasso in the pits there. Is he going to be helped? He is going to be helped. Then he hasn't been helped then. So luckily he was alright. And here comes ZGS. Coming in the pits, going on the hard tires. ZGS is then. So he wants to stay out until the end of the race now. Haas mechanics are in the pits while Starburst there. So Hammer Time then having a miserable end into his goodness me. Was I think that Haas car is right underneath the gearbox. There are many things as he comes out of the pits now. We've got Smith and Whitey also on the soft tires. Styles onto the hard tires as well. Then Righty coming into the pits on the soft tires, and here comes Liam D. I wonder, is Liam D in this race now? I don't think he is he? He looks solid there to me, then, so he might be in this race. And so Gaz and Scooshu are going to be happy with this safety car because now they can catch up to the back of the crocodile. So Jenner is still in the Grand Prix. He hasn't pitted yet, though. I think Jenner is the only driver not to pit after 11 laps there. He is trying to keep his nose very much clean and tidy, isn't he? In this Grand Prix as well. Serious Measurements asks, what is Starburst's highest finish? I'm sure that Starburst has won a Grand Prix, if I'm not very much mistaken. That is on memory, so please hold the line, caller. I am very much mistaken. His best Grand Prix performance in the Italian Grand Prix in the Italian Grand Prix, was there? No, it wasn't. I think it was before the Italian Grand Prix, because I think that Starburst's first DNF was at the Italian Grand Prix, wasn't it? But yeah, Starburst there has been second. He has been on the podium, Starburst. Also good stuff indeed. Then Becca said, that's his promotion hope's gone, and is that things just don't go Brooksy's way then, unfortunately. Hasn't Brooksy got to finish third or something? Brooksy, he's got to outscore, judging from me quick math, he has to. I've been reading it wrong all along. Yeah, he has to finish second at the very least. Then, so the 8 points is between Irvine and Joseph, whilst Brooksy is 17 points between Brooksy and Joseph. Then I got to say, I've been given all the tools and I still can't get it right, can I? So absolutely appalling behaviour there from me then. But yes, I didn't even read it right then, so apologies guys. Brooksy needs to finish second at the very least without Joseph scoring. So that is a Brooksy. So that is Brooksy's aim for tonight then. So that is it in a nutshell. Brooksy has to finish second or higher to get through there, of course. Of course, the 8-point gap is between Irvine and Joseph, but currently Irvine and Joseph are already Irvine's potentially already through anyway, so it doesn't make too much odds there for Irvine to a certain degree then. But so it's going to be keeping an eye on Joseph and Brooksy there. And at the moment, Brooksy is it's just a place behind him at the moment, isn't he? Becca saying Hammer Time was on about, but there's not much going on. There's not much going on by here. Like I think Hammer Time, unfortunately, Hammer Time could have got promotion, but it was a very much. I gotta say the dominoes really had to fall in a Pacific order there for Hammer Time. But I think Hammer Time for me is going to be a very interesting cookie for next season. Of course, as we shot here for the nose code, the world champion, which is Umabra, right underneath the safety car. There is a safety car right in front of us there, as the lights are very much beginning to illuminate. Percy got to outscore Joseph by 18 points. Then I think he could do it. And I'm so sorry saying that if Percy can take the mediums to the end, he might win it then. Anything is possible there from Brooksy's engineer, Percy. That's why Percy's the race engineer. And I would say, is that one of the commentator? Because I got that completely wrong. I've been talking absolute boulder dash, haven't I, since the start of the stream? Absolutely appalling behaviour, isn't it, by me? But yes, Ed, so Brooks has to finish at least second then. So that is his brief today then. And whatever happens really with Joseph, isn't it? But Joseph is not a good start, as he in the qualifying, as unfortunately he had a disqualification. But the course side is still over half the distance to go. Junior's gone on the hard tire side as we're on board then with Umabro, just going in front of the safety car there. I think he might be asking him to Burt Mylander there to hurry up. I'd stay well away though from Burt Mylander there. You don't want it as a course there. I think for Burt Mylander, it's like standing behind a horse. You don't really want to stand directly behind the horse because he might kick you. I got to say, a lot of things like to kick me, so I don't really want to be kicked by a horse. Because Burt Mylander, that safety car, he's sitting on the old interweb, that safety car can be very brutal indeed. And unfortunately, I already said it in the stream already, that the safety car has been very harsh to me as well. So Umabro leads the Grand Prix then. Irvine is second then after disappointing qualifying, I would say then, because he did only have one run. And Dukanko in third position, a bit disappointing start, but he's back up into third then. Iron Knight in fourth position, Jinner is in fifth, sixth position is Joseph, seventh is Brooksy, eighth position is Picasso, ninth is Starburst, CGS is in 10th position. That is the top 10. Starburst on soft tires, new soft tires, CGS on new hard tires for Jinner as well, new medium tires for Picasso and for Brooksy. Outside the top 10 is Kaz, new mediums for many things well, but many things as a penalty. New soft tires for Smithfield Mighty, new hard tires for Stars, new soft tires for Righty. Liam D's not in this race, unfortunately. Gaz on the 4-lap Oda hard tires, and Scooby Stew on a 3-lap Oda medium tires as well. Sarah saying Byrne thinks he's winning again the 4. Yes, yes indeed then. Of course Burt Mylander, who I think that there was one event there where Burt Mylander was almost leading as many laps there as our race leaders there, because he was out quite a lot there. I can't remember what race event it was now, but goodness me. Well, I saved the cars in the end of that then, so we're going to start the second half of the race, hopefully, well I was going to say with a bang, but perhaps that's the worst word to say. Well, with a bit of action then. 17 cars left in the race, and Liam D's out of the race, and unfortunately he gets a DNS next to his name then, because I don't think he's involved in this race. And Hammer Time out of the Grand Prix had a nightmare. Hammer Time did. He was on the front row, Hammer Time was, and what a shame now for Hammer Time. And also Winnie out as well, and so Winnie under the safety car restart, lost the car, and I think that effectively ended Hammer Time's race as well, as Hammer Time tried to avoid him, damaged the car, got a 10-second penalty for recovering after he was in no man's land, wasn't he? Which is such a shame now for Hammer Time, as we're now going to be back racing in in just a jiffy as well then. So yes, we're going to be back racing as we start the half distance here in Abu Dhabi then, as we still got a bit of daylight in the sky, haven't we? But of course, as the day turns into night, then the twilight of the ALR season is beginning to come to a close. And of course, that is we are on to the final ever Grand Prix on ALR on F1 2020. Car 32, you mad brother, world champion. He would love to end off this season and his career in Cobalt with a Grand Prix win then for you mad brother. But we're racing again now then. Scooby Shoo's got a 5-place grid penalty there for for going into the back of Gaz then, and he's coming to the pit. Scooby Shoo has then, so he's going to be furious, isn't he? Jinner, oh my gosh, Darren, who is that then? Spinning off, and Jinner is having a conversation. Brooks has taken away some action because of his teammate, I think it was. And now Starburst on the outside, and Brooksy is down into ninth finish there. It's Jinner then on submission. And look at him braking. Picasso's got a 3-second penalty. Oh, Starburst has damaged the cars. So Brooksy has got a bird's eye, well, got a beautiful view of this, hasn't he? And then now go down the back straight. There's Joseph. That is Brooksy's rival here tonight, isn't it? For potentially to go into bronze for next season. We're on board Brooks, and he's got 4 beans. And down the back. Oh, lovely shot here from the rear wing of the race, and point potentially the constructor champions. And look at this. Contact that we've had incidents. Mercedes is just in front of Brooksy taking away some action as it is getting very close for confidence. Oh gosh, and my word there, and it's getting very close and back on board, and I don't know where to look. Oh goodness gracious me, and down into turn 12. So contact again there, goodness me, as it is getting a bit too nasty out there, is it? Goodness gracious me then. The fisticuffs are up in the final stage of the in the final race here in Cobalt. Oh my word there, absolutely oh gosh, I was getting very tight, isn't it? Brooksy, who had an appalling safety car restart, found himself back up in the 6th position as Jinner. I think might have been the trigger of that then, after he got a swapper on out of turn 3, I think it was there. But luckily they all live to tell the tale, don't they? So good somebody then Kaz all over the back. ZGS having a couple of issues. ZGS is looks like he's coming into the pits, and some bad news there for ZGS, and Scooby Stew is still in the race. So good somebody there for Scooby Stew after he damaged the car on the safety car restart before he even got to the safety car restart, as he went to the back of Gaz, unfortunately. As we're now going through turn number 3, I think it is. There are the two Alpha Tauris in the foreground. At this moment in time then, the racing points are the Constructors World Champions. There need to be a big old swing, didn't there? As there needed to be the I think that the Alpha Tauris needed to win. It's the Alpha Males, isn't it? Am I speaking absolute hogwash? I think I am again. Then I think that ALR and all the admins are going to be happy to put me back in my box. Really, try to speak absolute nonsense. Oh, look at this, and it's Starburst on the outside of Joseph. Joseph at the moment, and this is not looking too good because Joseph is on the back foot here. Remember that. Remember there is something on the line here tonight for Joseph and Brooksy. Brooksy needs to get second in the Grand Prix, doesn't he? Joseph, of course. Needs to, because if Brooksy gets into second position, that would mean, hang on, let me get my calculator out. That would mean that he needs to score. He needs to get at least a 10th position then. Well, I think at least 9th position because it'll go on count back there. So Joseph will need to stay at least in 9th position there. He's got the press, so the pressure cooker is starting to build here now, isn't it? With Jinner's off the circuit. He was having a major good race today, and I think that Jinner there just seems to have appalling luck in Cobalt, doesn't he? And he's trying to get himself back through, and that's I think that was a McLaren there, and a couple of DRs as well, and enabled that. And Jinner, who took a long time to get a recover there, and unfortunately because that he's dropped right down to the back of the field. You mad bro leads. Irvine is in second position there. Dukanko in third position there, with Iron Knight in fourth position. Brooksy in fifth position now then. So on board now then with Brooks. I'm going to have to get the calculator out, I think, later on in this race. And lap 16 out of 28 then, as we're in the final countdown then for the end of ALR. Well, this season anyway, goodness me. I've got to say, that was sounding a bit dark there indeed, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. Sarah's Russian saying, swings and roundabouts, I can't cope then. It's goodness gracious me. Becca's going, oh my navy blue. We've also got Brooksy, who is wants to get past the Williams car of Iron Knight then, as we breaking down into turn 8 then, and Brooksy's that is a beautiful maneuver there. Fantastic racing there from Brooksy. That is as calm as you like. He calculated that to perfection. Now the pole sitter, the most pole sitters in ALR Cobalt history, and Iron is coming back at him there. And I think that's what Emerson and Ayrton mentioned last night on the stream, wasn't there? If you overtake in the first part of DRS, the second part of DRS, then you're going to be vulnerable. Oh, lovely shot here from the nose cone. Oh, that gap's going to close. It is closing there. Iron Knight there is getting his own elbows out there. Brooksy, oh gosh, they almost get the blows. They're almost the blows again. They're going through the very fast left-hander, kink his right-hander, Sean, his right-hander, get your lesson right. Brooksy in full position now, and oh gosh, the Jim's got a 3-second penalty. Picasso all over the back of Iron Knight as well. That was an incredible series of corners there. Brooksy has a 3-second penalty though. Oh goodness me, I can't cope even. Goodness gracious me, absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Becca saying, I think that Brooksy might do this, and as Brooksy has something to charge for. He's hard charging now, as Brooksy said. Let's see if he can do it. He doesn't want to get too far with that curve. I know. Picasso's off. And where's Iron Knight? Iron Knight is off as well. They've come to blows, have they? Iron Knight has not got damage, I don't think. Well, Picasso, oh gosh, he's come back on in the right in the scene there, and they haven't got damage. I wonder if they've just spun each other. Maybe so they went into the very fast turn number 3. I think it is, or 4. Goodness me. Back on board Picasso and Iron Knight, and Picasso drops him down the way as well. But that has elevated Joseph back up in the 6th position, and at the moment, and that is not enough for Brooksy. But Joseph has to finish at least 9th or below. Doesn't he here tonight? And now Picasso back up the order there. Righty and Gas is how to fight as well. And so, goodness me, Righty is through, passes Gas, moves in front of the Haas car, and away he goes. And Picasso all over the back as well. The McLaren driver, Smithfield Mighty, he's going for it. He's out of luck. Back door. Oh, goodness me. Oh, there's a clout. Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh, gosh, as they go side by side there for the chicane. Magnificent stuff indeed. Smithy did give a bit of room, Picasso a bit of room there, but Picasso wanted more than a bit of room there. Goodness gracious me. It's like having your elbow on the other sides of the person's chair, kind of thing, in the cinema, kind of thing there. It's getting very much elbows out there, wasn't it? Into the final turner and so on, and as it accelerates away. And rudely enough, Emerson has just sent me a Snapchat, so that is absolutely appalling behaviour there from Emerson there. Of course, there's because he's really blocked my stream view there. That's so rude. Joseph there in a 6th position. He is doing enough, and that is exactly what he needs to do. He is doing enough, and this is so at the moment it doesn't matter what Brooksy does now. Joseph, of course, he needed a finish. Needed a finish. Well, as long as Oh, Zach Smithy's off the circuit. Oh, and his teammate is out as well. Both McLarens have gone off in almost identical places there. Zach Brown is going to be absolutely disgusted by that. And both McLarens are out of the Grand Prix. Righty is absolutely shaking with fury there. Shaking. Oh, dear. And that is a big shame indeed, isn't it? Oh, not the telemetry off there. That was very good of me. But two McLarens off there in sympathy by the looks of that. And that's McLaren season done and dusted in at Cobalt. And their first season at Cobalt from McLaren, they are going to finish in South British there. Leicester Mercedes get a 1-2 here. I think that Leicester Mercedes get a 1-2 here, which doesn't look likely at the moment. Both drivers are still in the race though. Then McLaren will finish 7th in their first season in Cobalt. Then safety cars out getting an action-packed Cobalt, isn't it? Of course, we was expecting fireworks at the end of the race, at the end of the season, and wasn't we? Fantastic and fantastic stuff indeed. Right then, this is going to be a very interesting end to the race as well. Let's just take a look at the comments, shall we? We got Becca saying, "Well, I think we certainly we're certain that Racing Point are going to win the Constructors' Championships at this point. To be fair, whoever gets it done, they have earned it." That was dramatic there. Certainly saying a wild Zach Brown appears as well. And we also got a wild Alfa Romeo mechanics coming into the pit stand for the race here. They're champion as well. At the moment, the Alfa Romeo cannot needs these in the points as well if they want to be crowned the World Constructors Champions of Cobalt. So at the moment, it is still Racing Points champion. championship at this one at this moment in time then. So all the drivers that are coming to the pits on the soft tyres, apart from Starbus, has gone onto the medium tyres until the end of the race then. Gaz is not going to the pits then, so Gaz is in a very nice fifth position here on his first race on the wheel, and he's doing a great job. Drive through penalty for spinning the safety car for Jenner, and his night just doesn't get any better, does it, for goodness me, what's going on here? And his night doesn't get any better there for Jinna there. And what a shame there. As Joseph there steaming around the corner, and Brooks, he's only 2 positions away from where he needs to be on soft tyres then. Let's see how this one goes. And remember, Joseph, as long he needs to be at 9 foot lower, doesn't he? I think at or something like that then. Starburst and 8th, Kaz in 9th, and Picasso 10th, and ZJS in 10th position. 11th position is Styles, and he's on fresh soft tyres. Now remember, Haas team needs to score at least 3 points to get out of the minus zone, don't they? Otherwise, they were the first team in ALR history to have negative points at the end of a season. Then, yes, it's only been 11 races there, but of course, they would love to they would love not to have that accolade, will they? You man, bro, leading this Grand Prix. I was saying very cheekily in qualify. Brooksy! Oh no! And Brooksy's got a 5-second penalty there for going into Irvine. That is going to be crucial in his oh goodness me. And that is going to be absolutely disappointing there. Serious Russian stars, the Du Williams finished joint second in the joint constructors. That will all be revealed at the end of this race then, everyone. Mainly because I'm doing mass. But it will be all revealed at the end of the race, everyone. So do not do not worry about that one, folks. Then, the joint constructors then will be released at the end of the Grand Prix as well. Then, but Williams at the moment, I think that especially since bronze has come into fruition, Williams have done very well, haven't they? I would like to take credit for it, but let's be honest, I've been in the war more often than not, so I think it's more of the world champion of bronze, which is Dylan, of course. We've just got Percy saying, what is Irvine, what's Irvine up to, as it looks like that Irvine and Brooksy have come to blows then, and I think that it looks like Brooksy accidentally went into the back of him then when Irvine was braking and Brooksy was accelerating. And it's a very easy thing to do. That is damage on that AlphaTauri as well. This is a major blow for Brooksy. Oh goodness me, there he is going to be furious. He has really battled the elements and beyond in this race tonight. There he just doesn't seem to have the rub of the green, does he, here tonight? He's had a drive-through penalty. He got it done in qualifying, but the race itself, it just hasn't gone his way, has it? And now Brooksy's got a damaged wing. He's got a damaged wing. He's got a 5-second penalty. Oh goodness me! This is going to be. This is very difficult circumstances now for Brooksy, isn't it? What a shame it did then. You mad bro then, I was going back to you mad bro, I was going to say then that up until, you're saying in qualifying there, that he's on a bit of a quiet event here, isn't he? But goodness me, but as he mentioned there, on his, when he won the World Championship, he is a driver that doesn't take risks, does he? He is just consistently quick, isn't he? And yes, and once again then, here today, he is consistently quick, and he has found himself at the front of the field, and because of that consistency, isn't it, for you, man, bro, going for his 3rd Grand Prix win of his career in ALR Cobalt. So, and he'll love to cap off his championship winning season with a 3rd Grand Prix win as well. And we've got 3 drivers on 2 wins then of Irvine, you, man, bro, and Brooksy then. So I wonder, well, one of those 3 drivers would love to have the most wins this season, but of course, only one of them can't they? With just one race to go, unfortunately. So that is such thing. And Becca said, "Oh no, then I figure that is just a response then to the to Brooksy's damage to the front wing then, unfortunately. George Morgan saying, yo, good evening, George Morgan. We've also got Serge saying, don't understand why this happens in a safety car. It's not hard then, but it's, to be honest, it's very difficult to judge, though, isn't it? Because drivers will be braking and accelerating, won't they? And then there's going to be other, and then unfortunately there just seems to be a concertina effect, doesn't it? And at the moment, you mad, bro, it's not letting that safety car go too far into the distance, is he? So now he is now. Look at that then, as we're on the final 10 laps then, or final 9 laps if I can get me maths right, which has been basically a recurring theme then in the recurring theme then in ALR this season, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me. You mad, bro, is about to get cooking on gas once again, and hopefully we'll one final time then. Brooksy's now in the pits then as well, so Brooksy coming into the pits then, and now I think that I think it'll be open for a safety car or something then, but we're back at racing and once again then, as Brooksy is retired from the session, and he is going to be furious isn't he, for Brooksy? What a sad way then to end the race, to end the race and the season there for Brooksy. He's had a tough Grand Prix tonight, hasn't he? And I think that it's such a shame for Brooks then. Starburst there is just going up the inside then. And look, it's Gaz there is just struggling on those 12-lap-old hard tires. Gaz has track position, doesn't he? Joseph right underneath the gearbox as well. And we're coming down the back straight. And we've also got Iron Knight that has got past Picasso as well. Picasso's become a ghost. Goodness me. I hope this isn't Mario then. As we're now down the back straight then. And Joseph then is all over the back of Gaz as well. There they are then. As the telemetry is getting in the way then. Up the inside, track position. And he has got past Gaz and good stuff indeed. Then cool as a cucumber, and away he goes. And now Gaz is going to be concerned with the beautiful helmet of the year season. The season may have to go to Gaz, and that's a fantastic helmet design. As we've got many things in, as he jets in the background as well, just jolting from left to right. Then Gaz, I think that Gaz is going to struggle to get past him at this point, isn't he? As we come in, as we're accelerating away. Then as a Brooks saying, sorry guys, I am done then. Becca saying, I agree with you, Mushroom, but I did die whilst going into the back of Forza under the safety car in Canada last season. I was looking at the comments and shame on me. And oh gosh, this ain't going to go too well. I said, oh, there's an earth, and they almost came to blows. I said, Gaz is on the inside. And Gaz, the Red Bull to the back out there. The Ferrari is jinking from left to right then. And many things there. Gaz is off. He's spun. He's out of the Grand Prix. He has ripped off the front right past the virtual safety car. Oh my word then. And this is a very dramatic end into ALR season, isn't it? But what else did you expect then tonight? Brilliant stuff indeed then from my point of view. I love it. But unfortunately there has been a couple of gremlins, hasn't there, in the Grand Prix. As Brooks is saying, sorry guys, I'm done then, unfortunately. So it's much saying chin up, favourite for next season. Becca saying for sure. Oh, sorry, for definite there as well. Brooks saying well done, Joseph, well deserved. Thanks, Mushroom and Becca, appreciate it. Yes indeed then, I would say that I'm not a betting man, but if I was there, I would bet my all of my Kit Kat collection there that Brooksy would definitely be in the promotion spots for next season. Definitely a championship favourite as well. Then, but there is a lot of championship favourites in my little pot that I've got for next season. As I write it down, virtual safety car has finished as well. Then I must say that with my little stat book there, I've got like little stars against almost everyone that I think is going to be championship material next season. Picasso is one of them. I must say, I think Picasso and Iron Knight are two drivers that I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do next season. Same with Starbus and Ducanco as well. Of course, we've already mentioned Brooksy Jinner. I think if he gets a beautiful rubber, if he gets a clean rubber the green, then I think he'll also be a contender as well. So we've just got a couple of drivers that are just picking up penalties down the late stages of the race. And you mad bro. Of course, he's giving Irvine a clean bill of heels now, isn't he? So he's starting to really put his toe down at this stage of the Grand Prix. A DRS has now been enabled, and away we go once again. Away we go once again with the DRS. At the moment, Irvine is outside the DRS zone at the moment. Ducanco doing a great job in third position in the Williams. Starburst is fourth. Joseph is up in the fifth, and Kaz in a strong sixth position in the Ferrari. ZGS in seventh, and he's on old medium tires. And how long are they going to last for? Well, I'm not sure how long he's going to last in front of Iron Knight, because Iron Knight is now stalking his prey, isn't he? We got ZGS over 3 second penalty as he was running wide then in turn number 4, I think it was. Or 3. 3 or 4. I'm not too sure which one it is. To be honest, you would think I'll get a track map out by now. As, I would have learned my lesson from Sunday and Monday, but I'm quite a slow learner. Now we've got ZGS then, who's very much under the caution. Iron Knight is through. What about many things as well then? Look at this, and as the day is on. Turning it tonight, many things has slammed it down the inside there. Wow, that's a Danny Ricciardo-esque kind of manoeuvre there. Irvine is back into DRS range now as well. Oh, so you mad bro is going to be feeding the caution now, isn't he? Feeling the pinch, isn't he? As we're just watching ZGS and trying to come back out. Many things. Look left. There's the Red Bull. ZGS trying to break later. See, many things has the. Oh goodness me! Many things there is being always being very kind there, and I think he might regret that because look, ZGS is back through and passes the Red Bull driver. I think that I think many things was very gentlemanly there, and perhaps he should have slammed the door on the toes of ZGS there. But very good stuff indeed, Danny. Quite enjoyed that. Ginner's now back on the 13th position. Gap at the front is down to 8 seconds then with 5 laps to go then. So we've got a show finale as a Picasso is somehow kept it out of the barrier there. My word then. And a good gosh then Picasso. Goodness gracious me then. Would have to change my shorts after that one. That was quite a hair and scare. Part of the race there for Picasso. Good grief there. Many things there who is going to start his assault on a ZGS once again then. And let's see if he can get it down as Picasso is in the wall. Oh, he's avoided damage there, Picasso has there, but unfortunately he has lost 2 positions now. Stiles is into the points there. Good 17 there for Stiles. He's now got Haas's hopes on his shoulders, hasn't he? He needs to find another 3 points, doesn't he? To get the Haas team out to the minus points then, doesn't he? Kaz has just lost out to Iron Knight, and he was coming through the field quite nice indeed. Starbust then, as we got the battle at the front end, is now coming to a head. Then Irvine on the outside, you mad bro on the inside. Oh goodness me, then you mad bro just slamming the door shut then on Irvine. Then you mad bro's got a 3-second penalty. Both of the top rows have got 3-second penalties. Dukanko could win his first ever Grand Prix here tonight then. Oh my goodness me then. And that would be good stuff indeed then, would it, for Dukanko? That would be Williams' first win in a Cobalt history if they could do it. There he is. There's the flash of white in the background. Oh good grief, but many things are still 3/10 seconds behind CGS at the moment, and this is going to get very interesting indeed then. Very interesting indeed then, as we're now into the final corner, lap 25 out of 28 then. It's the final countdown is on then, as I'm starting to play that song by Europe in my head then. So we're into turn 1. Lovely shot, by the way. Look at that lovely little breeze there, isn't it? As you can see the Abu Dhabi flag there fluttering very nicely indeed. Many things is 2/10 a second away at the moment for ZGS that I think he might have it on this lap then. It's Irvine now, it's going slightly wide. Dukanko is still in the 3-second ballpark at the moment, and he is going to be absolutely loving it, isn't he, tonight then? Dukanko can he get his first Grand Prix win of his Cobalt career, which will very much elevate him for next season. Well, of course, Dukanko is also a part of my in my favourite little pot as well. Picasso in the pits are going on to soft tires to the end of the race. Picasso is a very unlucky draw. Irvine's up the inside. He takes the position there, and he's past the world champion. Irvine is through, and we're going to see more of these two battling away then for next season as well. And in bronze, I think they're going to be right at the top end of bronze as well. I definitely think about that. I definitely think that's going to be the case. And look about Bro's back on the outside. And where is he? There he is. And Irvine is back on the inside. He takes the position. He has track position. Dukanko's in DRS now at the front too. That is what Dukanko wants and he needs it as well. Look at the marshals there. They cannot take their eyes off of this incredible battle. As in here comes Bad Bro as well. Fully had damage there, but he doesn't have damage, does he? It's just the Alfa Romeo wing then is looking a bit plain there, isn't it? The Alfa Romeo wing is. Scooby Shee has a 3-second penalty. He is just outside the points of the moment, and yellow flags as Picasso is in limpo mode down the back straight, so something's going wrong there for Picasso on board Dukanko. It's now a freeway battle for the Grand Prix winner here tonight. Remember, Dukanko is not going up to bronze next season, but he is racing in Cobalt next season for season 2, and I would say that this man is going to be one of the favourites, isn't it? Along with Brooksy, I would think, along with Jinner, along with Iron Knight, then along with Starburst, along with the rest of the drivers in Cobalt. My goodness me, it's the list as long as my arm. Yeah, that's going to be great to watch next season. Oh, Dukanko took too much curb there. He's lost momentum there. He is still in DRS range, but I think he needs to be concerned by Starbus as well. Joseph is up in the 5th position there. Joseph has confirmed that he is now through into bronze for next season as well, with Brooksy retiring from the Grand Prix, unfortunately. But of course, I think that but Joseph and Irvine now are also on the cusp to be crowned the constructors world champions as well for Racing Point. A magnificent season for the Racing Point team. Absolutely sensational stuff for those two drivers, and they've been the best team in all of ALR. Oh, and you my bros come back at him then with 3 laps to go then. Irvine just slamming the door shut, keeps the high ground, doesn't he? Look, you my bro can hardly see him, but you my bro had a spin there. He spun out the rear wheels there, and he's lost a couple of tenths of a second, hasn't he? And Irvine there just about repelling it. This is a great end then to ALR Cobalt, isn't it? it? This is a sign of things to come. I'm thinking bronze for next season. Who is going to win the final race here in Abu Dhabi? Of course, your man bro won his world championship a couple of races ago, didn't he? But that hasn't lost his edge, though, not by any stretch of imagination. I was thinking he may have done, wasn't he, when he in Mexico and of course in Brazil, but I am absolutely wrong. Inside out of the final turn then for you, man bro. He is 6/10 of a second away at the moment. He's still in DRS and 2 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. And we have got Irvine, you man bro, Ducanco could still win the Grand Prix as well. Joseph could potentially be up into third or second as well, depending on how the Dominoes fall here in tonight. And talking to Dominoes, I'm fancy like one now. We're coming down the hill then, and there's Ducanco. He is in the ballpark and he needs to stay within 3 seconds of the 2 drivers in front to win his first ever Grand Prix of his ALR career. And there they are then. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, 5 cars, and in the same shot then. It is the first 5 then. Irvine, Yuman Bro, Ducanco, Starburst, and Joseph. And of course then 3 of those 5 drivers are going into bronze next season. 2 of those drivers are... and the Yuman Bro also went into the back of Irvine. Now he's had to take the escape road there, Yuman Bro. And he was just making sure they didn't get a penalty. Then Picasso's at the fast side of the race then. He has stolen that point away then. And Yuman Bro is now out of the relegation. Now out of the DRS zone, isn't he? Which may be a problem then. And Ducanco there might be a bit concerned by this as well, because that is going to allow Irvine to maybe pull away then, because as long as he's in the DRS zone, that would have helped Ducanco and just pulled him along slightly, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, that's not the case now, is it? That mistake then is very crucial, isn't it? Maybe to the outcome of the Grand Prix then, not only for you, Bro, but maybe for Ducanco as well. We've got Jinner, who is back into 11th position, and he passes Scooby Stew, who's dropped down into 12th now. Scooby Stew then having a bit of a disappointment into his first season in Cobalt, but of course, I think this is very much a building season, and for the teammate Picasso as well. But those two are going to be in the thick of the action, I think, for the next season. Final lap then of Formula 1 2020 here tonight, and it is at the moment Irvine is leading that final lap with you, Mad Bro and Ducanco. At the moment, it is Ducanco who is leading the Grand Prix. Yes, the Starburst got a 3-second penalty. That is the gap to the lead, and he needs to make sure he stays within he needs to make sure he doesn't lose 1.2 seconds on this lap then for Ducanco. The Scooby Shoo's got a 3-second penalty at the moment for his trouble said. So I think Scooby Shoo there might be out of the points as well. But look how close it is. Yes, we've got a lot of safety cars, but it's from first to 10th. It's only 18 seconds at the moment now. Styles is in the top 10. Well, that's good stuff indeed there for Styles. He does have a 6-second penalty, but he is staying in front of Jinner at the moment, and that is crucial, isn't it? As we're just coming down the hill once again. So the gap is still 1.5 seconds there between Ducanco and Irvine. And so Ducanco, then this is what he wants, isn't it, for the Williams team then? And there once again Constantine out then. Irvine just hasn't got the speed, has he? And nor has he might be able to break the DRS train then. And look, Starburst has just been as well, but I think the Starburst had a couple of penalties, didn't he? There, it's just popped up. Oh gosh. Right, the last we're in the last sector now, and Irvine at the moment. And car 94, Irvine is then, and he's had 2 Grand Prix wins this season. You man, Bruce had 2 Grand Prix, and so has Brooksy as well. What a fitting finale to the end of F1 at 2020. Then here in ALR, we've done gold, silver, bronze, and now cobalt. Irvine is into the final couple of corners as well, but he's got a 3-second penalty along with you, man, bro. But Ducanco has it, and Ducanco is going to win his first ever Grand Prix of his career. Ducanco wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Fantastic, and what a way to end the season, and what a way to build on next season there. William strong finish there in the end as well, and good stuff indeed. Ducanco is the Grand Prix winner then for the first time in his career. Fantastic. You mad, bro. We already knew he was the world champion of Cobalt. He's done a fantastic job this season, hasn't he? It's been about consistency. You might, bro. Of course, he's been on the podium 9 times in 11 Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed. And then it's the Racing Point team. Joseph on the podium now. He celebrates his promotion with a podium spot there. And Joseph is also, and Joseph and Irvine have sealed the Constructors' Championship as well for the Racing Point team. The final time that they're going to be racing in Cobalt. And wow, good stuff indeed there for the Racing Point team. They are the Constructors' World Champions. Hats off indeed. But today is Ducanco's day. He is the Grand Prix winner for ALR For ALR Cobalt, indeed, there's Picasso there is just doing some donuts then to finish off his season then, and looking forward to seeing what he could do next season then. What a way to end the final race of Cobalt. Fantastic stuff indeed there. He is going to be very impressive indeed there. Serge was saying, get in Duncan and co. Yes. Becca saying, well, and welcome to the winner's circle indeed then. Great stuff and yes indeed then. So brilliant stuff for the Williams team there. Draw of the day was Kaz out, as you can see there. Very much an impressive performance out from the Ferrari driver then. Good stuff indeed and a great way to finish off Kaz's Kaz's Cobalt career then. Umar Bro, the world champion, and celebrating his final race in Cobalt with a podium then, and same with Joseph as well. Then, of course, it was not all sealed, was it? There, he needed to have an 18-point swing between himself and Brooksy. Unfortunately, Brooksy had a very bad rub of the green today, but Joseph did all. But of course, Joseph got the hard work done before today, didn't he? Good stuff indeed. He goes up into a bronze for next season as well. So hats off there to him. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then let's take a final look at the classification, shall we? Then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the last race out of F1 2020, and it is Dukanko who won the Grand Prix there, 2.3 seconds in front of you, Matt Bro in second there, Joseph in third position, and fourth is Irvine. That result is handed the Racing Point now, first constructors championship in ALR Cobalt history, and because of that, then that is Racing Point ends off their ALR career for constructors world champion as well. Fantastic. R9 fifth position, Starbus in sixth, Kaz in seventh position, many things to say. ZGS finished off his season ninth. Styles gets the final point then in 10th position. Unfortunately, Haas does have the unenviable record, the only team in ALR history to finish off the season in negative points, unfortunately. Gino in 11th position today. He had some strong pace, didn't he, unfortunately, before he lost it. Scuba Stu 12, Picasso in 13th, retirements, Liam D, Gaz, Brooksy, Smithfield Mighty, Righty, Hammer Time, and Winnie all retired from the Grand Prix. Fastest up goes to Picasso at the end there with some lovely donuts then. And wow, what a way to end off Cobalt season 1 then. Really enjoyed that. And then, of course, the Umar Bro 2 Grand Prix wins then. 2 Grand Prix wins for Irvine as well. 2 Grand Prix wins for Brooksy. Very impressive stuff, to say the least. Then. All right, in the commentary booth right now then is Duncan, a.k.a. Dukanko, as I keep butchering his name then. But brilliant performance today. And that was your first Grand Prix win for your career. You didn't get any penalties at all then. You was very much as cool as a cucumber tonight.
Yeah, I'm pleased with my performance. I had a good pace throughout the race, and that wasn't too sure what to do at that first safety car, whether to stay out on those softs, but I'm glad I pitted now. Was at the back, but managed to get through the field, and yeah, but I know Irvine had a 5 second bend, didn't he? So I saw him get under the safety car, so this win might be a bit short-lived.
Well, potentially then, but I got to say, but even so, though, you getting no penalties at all around Abu Dhabi is quite an impressive feat, though. How do you do it then? How do you stay in the zone there, not to get any penalties? That's incredible.
I think I had quite a bit of pace in the race, so what I did was coming through the field and that. I just stuck behind people, so broke a bit earlier and stuff like that, and just took it easy and just kept it clean.
And talking about I think this wasn't your. Did you have a problem at the start there? Did you get involved with someone at the start there and have a couple of issues?
I don't think I did. I can't remember, to be honest.
I think it was your teammate actually, wasn't it? My bad.
Yeah, I didn't get any damage or anything. Like say, clean race for me, like no damage. Didn't get caught up in anything. Pit stops were right, and just had good pace on those mediums and the softs at the end.
Oh, apologies, shocking stuff by me though. I'm raining on your parade there. Absolutely horrific stuff. But either way though, I think that is a stronger platform for going into next season, I would say. Would you agree with that there?
Definitely. I only came halfway through the season, and I'm really looking forward to next season to get a full race from race 1. There's some good lads, quick drivers in there. I was happy to keep up with you, Mad Bro, and Irvine and that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Well done indeed, and I've got to say congratulations either way, because I think that was a superb drive. Fantastic stuff indeed.
Yeah, I'm pleased. Podium either way. It's a good way to end the season. So thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you for joining us. Let's. Who finished second today? Was it? I think it was. It was you mad bro. You mad bro. Fantastic end there to your championship winning season today. And before you go into bronze then, I must say then that I was saying in the qualifying build up there that perhaps you looked a bit off your game then, but I need to I always need to remember what you told me in the commentary booth a couple of weeks ago. It is you're very much a consistent driver, and you just keep coming at people, and that's exactly what you did today.
Yeah, at the beginning, I was a little bit worried because in Brazil my pace wasn't as good either. But in the end, I picked through, and normally Irvine is a bit faster. Yeah, Butsu was fast as always, and yeah, I think I could be happy with qualifying P6 in the end. I have to be happy with P2, but I was really gutted that I got that penalty because I really wanted to win today. But either way, I'm happy to finish off the season on the podium again. And yeah, I was a fun race.
You say the podium again, then I think that's your ninth podium in like 11 starts. It's absolutely incredible stuff. Your consistency, as you said, your consistency is brilliant. And going into a bronze for next season, I said you, Irvine, and Joseph are probably going to be is going to be once again, and I would say one of the favourites there to definitely be challenging for the championship or even promotion.
Yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to jump to conclusions too early. Um, but yeah, it kind of sucks because it's on Tuesday, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to work on Tuesday now. It's in my new roster, so I hope I can race all the time. But yeah, so I might not be there a couple of times, but I'm sure it will be fine. But I'm looking forward.
Well, I got everything crossed that you will be there because I want to see you battling with the bronze drivers. Fantastic stuff indeed. Well done, you, my bro. And of course, before we end this off, then what about you? What's your favourite moment of the season?
Yeah, you said it twice before, I think. It's got to be Hungary, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's easily my moment of the season. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Well done, indeed, you, my bro. Fantastic stuff,
Thank
and
you very much.
congratulations on a fantastic
Cheers,
season.
man.
And I
Thank
think
you.
Joseph is also in here as well. Joseph, congratulations on getting promoted to bronze, and congratulations on the Constructors World Championship as well. Fantastic day for you and the team.
Champions, baby.
Excellent. I got to say, Racing put you and Irvine have been fantastic teammates there right from the get go. I think you've had hang on a bit, about 8 podiums now between you two. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then, but talk us about your race first, then, because you seem to have issues in qualifying there, where you looked like that. The FIA disqualified you for being for being a bit dangerous there, but it looked like you were just trying to recover.
Yeah, I just lost the car on the entry, the second corner, and I went wide, like literally so wide. I wanted to fix my way, and but that was the wrong way, and I got disqualified. Only happened in a matter of 5 seconds. So yeah, it was. I thought I would start from the back, so I'm glad I started P10.
And then in the end, then of course after that, but I've got to say you bounced back quite nicely from there, didn't you? Because really a really good fight back today as well. Then you looked. Was you concerned about? Was it in the mind there? Was you concerned about the battle for promotion into bronze day, or was you just focused on this race and the constructors?
I was just focusing on getting into the points because there's like this 17-point difference. I just wanted a clean, consistent race with no mistakes, as much points as possible. And I saw Brooksy broke his ring at the end of the last lap, so sorry for him. And I hope his sister gets Y1.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I'm sure him and Vicuña and Hammer Time would enjoy Cobalt next season. It would be nice to watch them fight. Let the best person win.
Here, I love that. Good stuff, indeed. And of course, then just going on to the constructors championship as well. Then, have you got anything to add about that fantastic result?
Yeah, it's just I'm happy because Irvine missed 2 races, and in those 2 races I didn't have good races, so the Alfa Romeo guys were
up your proverbial.
So it was a nice challenge, but we're glad we could wrap it up. And yeah, Irvine has just been the driver of the season. Whenever he's racing, he's been getting great results. So yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much. And thank you to all three of you for talking to me. And that is going to be it then for ALR for on F1 2020, which I've got to say, as I start off this stream then, a bit emotional. I'm in a bit emotional as well then. As our journey in F1 2020 comes to an end then. But in about 6 weeks' time, we'll be back for F1 2021 then with gold, silver, bronze, and cobalt. Cobalt and bronze will have a full 23 race calendar, give or take, depending on what Codemasters does with all their races and all that kind of stuff. But we are planning to have a 23 race calendar, depending on how that looks like. It'll be shown in the not too distant future. We got some programs coming up though over the 6 week period. Then next week it is the awards then, and who has won what? Who has got driver of the season then for gold, silver, cobalt, and bronze then, and who's got the overtake of the season as well. Then I'm looking forward to seeing who's got that, because there are some crackers in there as well. And of course, we've also got the season review as well, also coming up next week, where one random ginger is going to be talking about the season, along with a couple of other admins there, as we go through a couple of our favourite moments of ALR Season 5. But for everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments over the course of the season. The last 2 seasons have been absolutely magical stuff indeed. Then, thank you for the viewers for helping us grow. Thank you for the drivers who have been absolutely brilliant as well. It's been magical to watch every single one of you. And that is it then for the time being. We'll see you in 6 weeks. Farewell.